BIGBROLGND. My name is Brother Legend. Welcome to the live. If you're joining us on YouTube, my TikTok is BIGBROLGND. Please feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let us know that you're getting some value from the live. I do it almost every day. Tap the top right notification bell on my TikTok page to be notified when we go live. What's going on, y'all? Had a late dinner today, so I'm a little later than usual, but we here. It's the weekend. We made it. We made it. Shout out to everybody that checks in on me. What's going on? Got oh yeah. Yo, follow my follow my Twitter. Follow my Twitter. I'm on Twitter now. Follow Twitter. We've spreading Pan-African propaganda to Twitter. Go on to Twitter, y'all. But understand this. Twitter is the front lines. What up, Timothy? Peace, y'all. I see y'all down here, man. Peace. Much love to y'all, man. Shout out to the family. I'm on Twitter now. BIGBROLGND on all platforms. That's me. Big Bro LGND. I'm on Twitter. We spreading the propaganda on Twitter now. It's finna get crazy. Come on, y'all. Listen. I need the Pan-African Garvey Warriors on Twitter. Everybody on Twitter, DM me, tweet me, whatever. Let me know it's you. Let me know you heard about me from the TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, send me a tweet. You might as well do it right now. Send me a little tweet. Send me something. Follow, because I'm gonna need y'all support over there. Twitter is like the front lines. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of conscious brothers and sisters out there. I want to reach out to them. Those that don't go on TikTok live much, even if they go on TikTok, but understand that there's a lot of pointy hoods on Twitter as well. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta kind of like filter through all of that and start to carve out the community. You know what I'm saying? So brothers and sisters, you know what I'm saying? Everybody that uses a washcloth, um, follow me on Twitter, BIGBROLGND. Tweet me. Let me know, hey, it's me from the live. I need y'all. Come on, come through. Cause I'm about to like, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to start acting a fool on there. You know, Twitter's more uncensored. You know what I'm saying? I already started today. I already was going viral today. I was just acting up. But I gotta spread the platform out because I've been hyper focused on TikTok, and I don't trust TikTok enough with this content because they will take you down for anything. Oh yes, absolutely. We help in the Congo. The link is in my bio, b1initiative.org, if you want to donate to any of the brothers and sisters in the Congo. All of our cousins in the Congo need our help. They need our support, and they need us to spread awareness as well. That's one of the focuses of my initiative, is to spread awareness for the brothers and sisters in the Congo. If you got a dollar right now, b1initiative.org. The link is in my profile. You could just click that. It'll take you to where it says support Africans. Click there, and it'll show you where you can donate a few dollars to the brothers and sisters in the Congo as they are going through a GNOCIDE. If y'all know what I'm talking about, GENOCIDE. They're going through that right now, and we want to show support, solidarity to our brothers and sisters in the Congo. A lot of y'all got the Palestinian flag in your name. That's cute, but don't forget about your people, because you're using their phones to free other people that will call you a name outside your name if you was there. I'm just saying. I've been joining these pro-black lives where they saying free Palestine, this and that. But when I join the pro-Palestine lives, they ain't talking about none of us. And they don't say nothing about no free. We need to free the Congo and the black people too. How we gonna do that? But I'll join the pro-black live and I'll hear a bunch of us saying, well, "All right, guys, we gotta do this. We gotta remember that watermelon is what links us all because they flag got the color of watermelon and we eat watermelon." Like, come on now. It's a shame. Join me on Twitter if you weren't here earlier. I am now on Twitter. I'm going off every second because Twitter is filled with a lot of raccoon hat wearing ingrows and filled with a lot of pointy hoods. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They cut eye holes in pillowcases. You know, I'm not sure if they do pillowcases. That's really a question. Anyone that burns crosses for a living, if you could answer me this, do you guys put eye holes in pillowcases, or do you just cut eye holes in a sheet and call it a day? Because I'm always wondering, like, if you pass gas and you got a sheet over your whole body all the way up to your face, it gets lethal in there. I don't know how you do it. If you get over yourself and you know you ain't use a washcloth one day in your life, it must smell crazy down there. So I would assume the best thing you would want to do is put a pillowcase there. Peace, Crom. What's good, brother? I would assume you'd want to put like a pillowcase over your head to like separate, the stank from, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. Peace, Crom. Appreciate you, brother. Thanks for off the live goal. What's going on, D?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. So, I want to let y'all know my phone died earlier, but I told you we'd be right on time for brother. We correlate each other.
Absolutely.
Cromwell
And I see
probably
you
end up.
joined the Discord. You in the Discord now.
Yeah, I'm in the Discord
So
now.
you
Cromwell
got your
probably open up after
notifications?
you. You say what?
You got your notifications on?
I don't think so. I'm about to figure it out. I told you. I told you.
All right, cause we about to we can start having little meetings and like coordinate. We really got to get on code because if we
Yeah,
do
because
this right,
everybody's followers can be everybody's followers.
that's what I think.
Yeah.
You the first person that understood that without me having to explain that first. That was the purpose of the Discord. Like I was trying to tell other creators, we can start a whole community and everyone is on code. So we're not going to have no issues. We're all talking about the same stuff. And that way we have a community of people, a core following that everyone kind of is in the same direction. Like, I don't see how that's not a win-win for everyone else. Like, that was the point of the Discord, to be honest. It was never intended to be like a fan club for just my platform. I was like trying to get other creators to do that. The creators I tried to do that with, yeah, they
You know
didn't.
what I get associated with? Them damn paws.
You know what I'm saying?
I was in Chrome Live and somebody added me and said, Kim, if we send the pause, will he kick him? He said, send the pause. So go ahead. Send the pause.
You know what I'm saying? Because we all be in the same lives anyway, so we may as well just have each other's back. That's all I'm saying. Makes sense to me.
I'm with it.
Yes.
Let me activate.
All right.
I had fun today, even though I was busy. I had clients back to back, and I was hosting their live. Tia and Swan came through like a MF. Melanated came in the end and caught it back up. But I appreciate everybody. Like they keep it going. Like teed up, keeps people motivated. Leisha gonna do what she do every time.
Yeah.
But appreciate y'all. Y'all are.
Leisha need to stay away from the milk women. Leisha need to stay away from the milk women. No, I'm playing.
Oh my god!
Somebody tried to start something in the Discord and said she had a thin lippy in, but she don't. She don't. I'm playing.
Holy Spirit, activate, activate, activate. Holy Spirit, activate. Hello. Hold on. Hello and welcome to Brother Legends Live. You guys, you are in Brother Legends Live. I need you guys to tap that screen, tap, tap, tap. We need to get to 10K immediately so we can hit to skate to the 50. You guys tap that screen, get active and get in service now. You guys make sure while you're in here, you're tapping the screen, you're sharing the live, share with your friends, share with your tap dancing friends, and share it with your enemies. I like the box. I won't hurt ya. But anyways, while you're here, make sure you subscribe to Brother Legends Live here and on YouTube. He said join him on, what was that platform?
Twitter.
You guys tune in, turn up, and make sure you add yourself to the Discord, be1initiative.org, where you can learn to be great. But at the end of the day, tap the screen. I'm tapping out.
Appreciate you, D. All right, y'all. What's up? What's up? Join Twitter. I'm telling you, I'm going crazy on there because there's so much propaganda needed. You know what I'm saying? Pan-African propaganda. So I'm asking the community, brothers and sisters that be on the live all the time, find me on Twitter. I'll follow y'all back. You already know how I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'll follow back if you're black. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be family, but I'll definitely follow back. But yeah, we going crazy over there. I'm just during the day, you know what I'm saying? Just during the day. You know what I'm saying? Maybe we could unpack some mayonnaise together. I mean, I honestly I was mostly making fun of mayonnaise all day and then trying to educate a little bit in between. You know how I do. I'm not taking educating people that don't believe I'm all the way human seriously. I'm not doing that. All right, so we got our first answer today. Okay, KK. She says no, no, yes. Let's see. Let's give her a grade. Are interracial relationships harmful to the black community? She says no. All right, so you got an F already. Is preferring to date another race a fetish? She said no. Oh yeah, you got an F. And then can you be? Oh, she said. Oh, so you got them all wrong. All right, yeah, you F minus. F minus. You gotta do something else with that. Leisha, this is what we be talking about. This is what we be talking about.
Come up.
Leisha,
she gotta come up.
nah, you gotta come up here, Lee. She play too much, man. I can't with Leisha, man. All right, so absolutely, Kira. You know, Kira getting that A. She put, and then she gonna put exclamation points by it. I cannot, yo. But yeah, all right. You know, hey, whoever wants to come up here, feel free to come up, answer the questions. I got Lupita behind me. You can't see because of my shoulder. This is Audrey Lord. I know a lot of y'all who can't see their lips with their mouth is closed don't know who Audrey Lord is, but you can look her up. Cornell West, that's him and his Palestinian wife, and then we got Maya Angelou and one of the Beatles. Nah, I'm playing. He wasn't a Beatle. He looked like young Bill Gates or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He looked like, what's that dad from the Brady Bunch? He definitely he looked like
Man off Scooby Dooby Doo that used to have a red shirt.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then the funny thing about Maya Angelou is she actually was confronted. Someone came to her and said, I don't get it. Like I don't believe in interracial marriage. Like, you know, how do you like how are you doing this? I don't believe in interracial marriage. And Maya Angelou's response was, neither do I. That was her response. She said, neither do I.
It's also a deflector.
Yeah. I mean, that was it an Oprah interview? It was one. I think it was. No, it was an Oprah interview.
She was wise beyond her years, brother, because it was smart how you could turn things like that around. And I think that's the dangers that we have in our community. Is there are some of us that are really intellectual, but we're so accepting of the BS.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's what she said. She said, neither do I. And it's like, and yeah, so it's like she saw herself as not in an interracial relationship. I don't know. That's nothing but deflection. Like, because there's a glaring contradiction. Especially Maya Angelou, how she would tell us about our ancestors. Oh my goodness. I grew up with her poems. Um, and some of the women, shout out to the AKAs, man. One of my elders growing up that taught me African history and Pan-Africanism when I was growing up. She was AKA, and she had did some event or something, Maya Angelou or something like that. But she came back and was just like, had some of the sauce from the time that she had and was telling us about our ancestors and telling us what she had learned. And there's a rich history there. There's a rich history even in our enslaved ancestors. Like, you know,
Let me
it's
tell you,
mm-hmm,
I've basically been a service to a president of a Delta's daughter for a few years. I love
mm,
them. They're really awesome. But we talked about the YT woman that was literally one of the presidents prior, probably a few years, and she spoke so highly of her. And I laughed. I said, "Do y'all not realize that even in the most sacred spaces, y'all allow other people that would never let you walk into that?" Like I almost accidentally walked into one of their meetings and they had a heart attack. But y'all had a YT woman being one of the head people in the Delta
mm.
Association. I thought that was hilarious.
That is crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's still, I think, inherently going to be anti-black, but
How did that make
that's
you
just me.
feel?
Like you
Oh
just
man, you here to troll? This
into
person's here
something.
to troll. Are you here to
No,
troll? That wouldn't
no,
be
sir.
fun. Okay, I don't know. It feels like it. I don't believe you, but we'll get to you in a moment. I'll go
Yes,
to the
sir.
next. I'll go to the next guest. Timothy, what's going on, brother?
Hey, what's going on, King? And hey,
I'm
D
well.
Queen.
Peace. Are you in the Discord, Timothy?
I don't think I am. I'm still trying to figure
Man,
out how to listen. I'm still trying to figure out how to do the whole like even get to the Discord section. Like I don't even like yeah,
it's
that's
it's
actually
it's 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 in my bio. This b1initiative.org. You click where it says join the Discord. When you get to the website, it's gonna have like a little rotating fist, 3D little two. It's like a 3D little fist. Is it not working? I hope it's working.
I had
Um.
to just do a search and it brought it up for my Discord because I couldn't find it just through the regular app.
mm,
Oh, the app. Oh, yes. Oh, so you had to search to find the app.
Yeah, I had
Okay.
the actual b1initiative.org.
Oh, wait. Oh, so you couldn't find it on b1initiative.org?
So I had to Google b1initiative.org. I couldn't find it on Discord. Just searching through Discord, it wouldn't let me do it.
Oh no, you can't search through Discord. You got to go through the website. The website, there's two links on the web page because right now it's just a landing page. There's b1initiative.org, and then there's like support Africans, which will lead to right now the Congo, but eventually other nonprofits worldwide. But
I'm on now, Swan. I've been in there.
yeah, I see. Yeah, I seen you in there. Timothy, man, you got to hop up in there, man, because
oh yeah, no.
we about to start organizing.
Yep, no, I'm googling it as we speak on my other phone.
All right.
Hmm.
All right. Let me speak to this new guest. Thick Moon, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
Um, hey, I'm a young man um, from California. How you guys doing?
Uh, your race, young man,
Caucasian.
and your age,
Um,
age range, or are you over 18?
older. Yes.
Okay.
Um,
And pronouns he, him.
male.
That's not a pronoun. So you don't
Uh,
like he, him. You'd rather
sir,
she or they.
sir.
Um, I'm not calling no Caucasian sir when I'm not
So
on the clock. So
yeah,
um
male.
male is not a pronoun. So do you have an aversion to being called a him?
Uh, no.
Is that like scary that you don't like it?
He, him. Give it to
Okay.
me.
All right, talk to us.
So, can I ask you guys a question?
No. Answer the questions.
Um, I do feel that as I've been in that type of relationship, that I don't think it's harmful.
All right. Bye bye.
All
All right. Hey, shout out to Stella because he was just too trolly, right? He was trolling too much. Shout out to Stella because Stella's really been supporting the live, with not making us have to do extra work up here. And then, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was trolling. He wasn't serious. Come up here. We're talking about race and oppression and what's going on with black people, and some of them think this is Saturday Night Live. Um these are serious topics. We don't got to be all sad and down, but at least have a productive conversation with us. Absolutely. Yes, appreciate you, Stella. What's going on, Black Swan?
I'm well. 33 black pronouns are she, her.
Okay.
It's interesting when they chime in on these discussions because, like, the first thing that he did was, how does that make you feel when you just express yourself? When we're talking about the AKs and you just expressed yourself, right? We just had a conversation about it, and the question it's such a backhanded question. Like, obviously, you know what I mean? It's like, did you want to get a rise out of that? And when when
Yeah.
you mentioned him being a troll in the comments, he had put ha 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 ha. And in my mind, I'm just like, okay, like we already know what type of time he's going to be on. It's just,
Yeah.
frustrating. You join the conversation. This happened on D's Live earlier today. You join the conversation. You want to have a discussion. You don't want to give the intro, like just out of straight up respect for being on the platform. What are you here for? You know.
Right. Well, I've been in Twitter all day, and well, not all day, but like while I'm at work, I found out that I can tweet. So it's like I can host my live while I'm working because I'm not, thankfully, doing labor with my body, so I could just kind of like sit there and like tweet. And yeah, it was interesting. Twitter is like a Klan rally. It's like the responses I got on Twitter reminded me that TikTok is still like heavily censored. Like, and it's good because it keeps the focus more productive. But Twitter, I think, is just going to be for me to attract the community to the platform. Like, ain't no saving some of these people on Twitter. I'm telling you right now. GMR78, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I don't have a pronoun. I'm just a dude.
Man, we got another troll.
How's that a troll?
You hear my
That's
wife?
it.
Did y'all
That's
hear
a
my wife
legit.
just now? She
That's
just
legit.
she's
How's
like,
that
y'all
being
are
a
so
troll?
weird.
How's that being a troll?
What?
How is that being a troll?
I don't know what you mean by that.
I said I'm a dude. You said I'm a troll. How's that being a troll?
Because dude is not a pronoun. She, he, they. Choose one, or I'll choose one for you.
Nobody chooses anything. It's you're born dude or you're
All right.
female.
I'm going to ask a question, and I need you to answer me truthfully.
Go on.
Do you prefer? All right. Well, hold on. Now, I'm going to ask this truthfully, and if the next thing out of your mouth is not the answer to this question, then you're going to get kicked. So, she, he, they. Which do you prefer?
It's not about my preference. I'm a dude. Bye.
All right. He had to go. Shout out to Stella. I have no mercy for the people whose language I'm speaking acting like they don't know their own damn language. We're not doing that. You're not from a culture where there are no pronouns, like many of my African brothers and sisters. Shout out to my African brothers. We know that on the continent, we are all members of the tribe. Thank you, G. Dot. Appreciate you, sister. But we know where we from ain't no pronouns. So if some of us have an aversion to identifying with the colonizers' intersectionality or identity, then I can kind of wrap my head around that one. But if your people created this language, you going to answer the pronoun question. We're not doing that. I'm gonna go to the next guest. Winter Shadow. Give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
40, she, her, and black.
All right, talk to us.
We're going through the questions, of course, right? Just verifying.
Yes.
I'll say, hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Do I feel that interracial relationships is harmful to the Black unity and progress? That's kind of hard, only because now I'm not for I don't believe interracial relationships will further the Black cause whatsoever. It causes confusion in the children.
That's harmful, right?
I'm sorry.
That's harmful, right?
What do you mean?
Confusion in the children is harmful to the community, right?
Yes.
All right.
So yeah,
Okay.
then I guess I do.
Here we go. Ding, ding, ding. Hey.
Oh, reason because there's so many interracial marriages that you can't really say it's harmful, because the children do get very confused, and I feel for them.
All right. So
Yeah.
we're not acting out cognitive dissonance. I hear you. Let's keep going.
Okay, so in terms of yes, I do believe it is a fetish. And mostly with men of other races and Black women. I'm gonna be honest with you. You see it a lot. You hear it a lot. Even when you go to the bar, like a W team person will literally come to you and tell you, "Oh my gosh, I love your cocoa brown skin," and it's like, did you literally tell me that I'm like chocolate or something? Like it's really weird. Also, they'll always say things like, "Oh, I've never been with a Black woman before," and it's like, I'm ultimately a woman. But if you have to go with my race, then there's something wrong with that. So, and also those manly type websites, if you ever check it, Black women are like the number 2 or 3 searched, and the fact that we're so
They don't search Black women.
Huh?
They don't search Black women.
Well,
they search ebony.
Well,
which
I
is
didn't
a
want to.
type of wood,
Okay, yes.
or they call y'all everything but a woman.
Yeah, they do. And that website Cornhub was like
Yeah.
how we were the number 2 or 3 in the past couple years. And the fact that we are, as you said, ebony and every other thing besides our race, it's very telling, because if you're going to tell me that we're the least desirable to marry, but yet the most desirable to watch in those positions, that's kind of fetishizing. So let's
you know what's wild to me though, and as someone that may have previously just perused in a site or two, it was interesting to me is how you don't really find the fine, like, I mean, I'm sure there's some, but like what brothers would think of as a fine sister, they don't really make it to like the top of that industry. I've noticed, like, I mean, like, maybe it's changed since my years of perusing, but if some of the brothers in here can verify what I'm saying, like they look good and everything, and ain't nothing wrong. But I'm saying the ones that we in the barber shop would be, damn, like the one that walked past, and you know what I'm saying, like the whole earth move with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like you don't really see them, and I think that might be a good thing, because maybe she's married in real life and she just don't do that, or has some sense of self, where they wouldn't, even if you want to look at that type of work as something that someone could do in a healthy way, I don't believe that, because I know women that did that type of work. I know Black women that did that type of work. I used to work in Hollywood, So in Hollywood, you meet all type of people that be in Hollywood. But one of my friends, yeah, she said like she told me like what it really was like, and she's been in Playboy, all this other stuff, and it's it's like it's racist as hell. It's racist as hell.
It is.
It's really bad. Like they basically sign a paper that says anything that happens to you on this set, you cannot complain. We can call you anything we want. We can just about do anything you want. And even if you get hurt, you signed a waiver like to rights to your body for this
Wow.
amount of time during the time we're shooting. Like it's kind of crazy. It's like you just
Scary.
briefly sell yourself into slavery. So there is no healthy for a sister, especially. There really is no kind of healthy way to do that in this country. Like I'm just saying.
Wow, I wouldn't think so either because as we are fetishized, like even work wise, and it
Yeah.
sounds funny, but we make a joke of it. But if you see like a rich WT man with a black woman, she looks her hair is always a hot mess. Like she usually looks a hot mess. You never.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see I mean, again, it's just what I've seen.
What brothers would think, because even the ones that like I can think of off the top of my head. I was a teenager once. Okay, listen. I mean, I'm not going to give you too many disclaimers because sexual shame is also Eurocentric. But I'll tell you this: when I was young and I was looking at that stuff, the sisters would have not like they wouldn't have like locks and like natural hair. Like, and I'm not saying the sister has to have those things, but the sisters that the type of brothers I grew up around would be looking for, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just I never seen that and them make it to the top. It's usually it has to attract some sort of white male attention in order to make it to like a certain level. I don't remember
Right.
seeing that.
And that's where it comes in because the black men are not the audience. They're
Right.
not the target audience.
Yeah.
It's Billy Bo Joe Bob in middle America in Virginia with
Yep.
his sister who's watching it. And he's not attracted to what a black man would say, oh my gosh, she's gorgeous.
Right.
He's attracted to the bad wig.
Yeah. Right.
The questionable look, and
Mhm.
we see it. We see how even when they'll say, like we as black women will say, if you date a white man, he'll accept your hair, anything. Like there's nothing that he's not gonna accept. Whereas a black man might say, "Hon, are you gonna, fix your hair up a little bit because we about to go out?"
Yeah.
So, not saying it's good or bad, just saying that I've tended to see that they accept a lot more in black women, and it's always the most questionable in terms of the especially the rich ones with the bad wig theory where
Bad
they
wig theory is
believe
crazy. Yeah.
because
No, that's
it's
crazy. I
true.
just found out about that
Every
about a
time
week
you
ago.
see, like, if you ever want a rich white WT man, go put a bad wig on, go into one of them bars. He's gonna pick you up. It's creepy.
I thank God my wife is natural. Shout out to the natural sisters. I mean, shout out to the sisters that wear the wigs because they know that in this world it is, a form of assimilation. It does provide some sort of safety. A woman in a natural hairstyle is 3 times more likely to be pulled over by police. However, also shout out to them sisters with the natural hair. I love it.
I believe in natural hair. I when I was younger, I did do the wig thing mostly because when you go to work and you have to work with WT people, they tend to say things like, "Oh, you're having a bad day," or "Oh, you didn't get yourself together," or they always have some kind of comment when you come in with natural hair as opposed
Yeah.
to wearing a bust down 30-inch straight wig, and they're like, because at
Mhm.
one point they'll say, "Oh, what color are you wearing?" I'm like 30, 32. Like that's the
You
color.
know why I like natural hair too? Because sometimes the sisters, they have bigger foreheads. It's an African feature to have bigger foreheads. Our ancestors found that attractive. I know Europeans have conditioned us to thinking the Eurocentric concept where small faces, small foreheads, pointy noses, all that stuff is cool. But um, like the wigs sometimes makes the forehead look different. Like when they have their natural hair, their natural hairline, it sometimes falls better. I noticed. I got six sisters,
Natural.
so this is something I noticed when I was young. When they would put their wig on, their forehead would be kind of like they would try to cover it with like a bang or like do something. But when they had their natural hair, their forehead didn't look like it looked better to me for some reason. Like the shape just kind of fit their face better. I don't know. That's my thing. I noticed
But you
that.
have to also remember, we grew up with that Eurocentric ideology of beauty. Our
Yeah.
dolls, television, school, everywhere taught us this.
Hmm.
Even
And
learning
I know
about
our men do too.
Marie Antoinette wearing wigs,
Hmm.
like we learned that those pale powder wig women were what they considered gorgeous. So we
Hmm.
took a step back, because if we're not seeing ourselves in pictures and books, then obviously we're not the look that they're looking for. And thank goodness my mom took me to those African bookstores as a kid to set me straight real early
Hmm.
about who we are and what we are.
Shout out to Mom Dukes, man. That's amazing. And I was going to say the brothers have internalized that Eurocentric um, female beauty standard, and I'm not talking about the women. I'm talking about the females. Some of y'all know what I mean when I say that. When I say women on my live, I mean black women. Shout out to the black women. But the Eurocentric beauty standard for their females is what was internalized by a lot of black men, like Jonathan Majors, who get caught up in certain situations where um, I'll say even personally, my mother wore her wig most of the time, and sometimes when I'm like in a checkout aisle or something, I'll see a white tea woman wearing her hair the same way my mother wore her wig, and
Right.
feel a sense of nostalgia, and I'll just be like, damn, that woman looks like my mom because I can't see her face. Like from behind, she looks like my mom.
Right.
Why should I feel? I shouldn't associate
Right.
a Eurocentric feature with my mother, but
Right.
that's how a lot of brothers fall into that trap,
But
Yeah.
but you also have to understand, like, um, they too have been raised to see Eurocentric as
Yeah.
the it factor. Even growing up, and I'm going to say it like this: little boys at the age of 12 to whatever, who goes onto those websites, and that's the vision that they see.
They don't even
And
have to do that anymore. It's on TikTok.
right. So now, right, they're literally going and they see all these WT women there doing the same dances that black women do,
Mm,
having the same hairstyles, looking like black women, but yet they are that Eurocentric look. So they are they are I'm gonna be honest with you, they're confused, because
yeah.
if you are looking at a woman who's cosplaying as a black woman, I'm sorry, that's how I look at it. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to say, well, since the world thinks that they're gorgeous, why not? And not
Mm-hmm.
saying that, like I already told my son, like, no. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pick you up from jail. I'm not going to have any situation go down. I don't want anyone claiming anything with you. So no,
Mm-hmm.
not at all.
And
I'm not accepting it.
and and another thing is having these females as their teacher, because when that's the case, they at a young age, like kindergarten, when your teacher is a frosted female, it kind of can, like, you start to look at them as like a maternal figure, and that's also harmful because they are not going to look out for you. Like, you kind of have to, because they've been conditioned to think that white is safe. You kind of have to like teach the children, like, nah, be careful. You know, that was
Exactly.
another thing that Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu speaks about, that specifically in countering the conspiracy to destroy black boys, where that's where some of the conditioning starts as well, is looking to white women as maternal figures as a child can lead to them thinking that it's safe when they're older.
But they've conditioned us well in terms of even putting white WT Jesuses in our house when we go
mm,
to worship. So even as little
mhm,
children, when our first view of authority, because everyone knows that God and Jesus is who we look for our moral compass, and
mhm,
putting a WT face on it is making us feel safe. And as you said, going to school and seeing WT people as authority is safe. Seeing the
mhm,
majority of WT people as police officers, when if there's a situation, we're supposed to feel that they're safe. Fire department,
mhm,
all of that. And that's why I will always, whenever I see a young black man around, I'm like, listen, I get it. Become a police officer.
mm.
Go into the fire department, get a job there, because our kids need to see us in these places. If they don't see us in these places, they're not going to understand that it can be safe. Instead of looking at them as authority, we'll look at them as family, the same way as they go into their neighborhoods and their family.
I don't
We
know about that. You said you want the boys to join the police?
Our boys, definitely, because we need our kids. We need, see, right now, even
Mhm.
in Mississippi, they are trying to segregate the police department in Mississippi. So meaning, a WT man will arrest a WT man, a black man will arrest a black man. However, if there is not enough black men to arrest black men, if that's the way they're gonna go, what do you think is gonna happen? There's gonna
So
be
do you
I
think the
think she's
black
right.
police
Yeah,
officers
that's pretty
are
fair.
like, do you think the all right, we do got to go to the next guest because I know
okay.
he's nibbling on mozzarella right now. Do you think that the black police officers get to be nicer towards
No, absolutely
black
not.
men?
They are very much under that blue shield, and that's why we need more, is what I'm trying to say, is we need to level the
What is
playing
more going
field.
to do?
We need to level the playing field. We could have our own unions. We can start forming more stuff. If we have 100 police officers
But
and 20 is black,
we're still reinforcing laws we didn't create.
right? But those laws, so would you prefer to have the WT man enforcing the laws, or would you prefer for us to go in there to start trying to change them?
I'd prefer that racism didn't exist and
It
then we
does.
can join the police. Right. So that being the case, what's the difference between a black officer doing the will of white supremacy or a white officer doing the will of white supremacy?
I don't, I guess because I have a lot of black family members that are in the force, and that I've seen them actually help the people in their community which are black. So I personally, and I have a couple of black, I would love to see them actually help. I do get it. There's a lot of forces where it's, if you don't put up and shut up, they'll kick you out. I do understand, especially because that black woman was fired due to trying to save somebody.
Following the white man's law, though.
Mm.
I get that.
That's
But
all I.
no, I believe, no, absolutely. I
I need to
absolutely.
give my wife a microphone. We got wireless mics.
No, it's just, I feel like if eventually we start like, so we're going to continue to have the WT people policing us, because they're
We don't have to
literally
see. That's the thing.
unaliving us.
It's wild that you even think that's a choice because that's what I was saying earlier about the when you try to make me make a choice. Like it's still a system of racism that is dominant over what we can do, and we're limited in that
Okay,
capacity.
I could see that.
Let Black Swan say
No,
something.
no,
Go
no,
ahead,
I
sis.
can see that. Go ahead.
I think a lot, like I've noticed when we have these conversations, a lot of times people are trying to figure out how to survive, right? When I say survive, I mean, how can we navigate this system when in reality, you're just you're not living. In order to live, the system has to be dismantled. In order to live, you need to get away from the system, right? And I think that that's what Winter is missing. A lot of people miss that. Like we can't just because like have there is a black police officer who goes into another live space that I tend to I moderate in that space, and I get on the panel, and we asked him, you know, what has the police force done to try and bridge the gap with the black community? And There was nothing, like the things that he said. We have diversity trainings, and we talk about this, and we talk about that. Like there's nothing that they are going to do. You could it doesn't matter how many black men you put into a police force, like it doesn't matter. It's just it's literally them just doing the work for them. That's it. It's not going to change the way that they operate. It's not going to change the fact that we're, you know, imprisoned more, that we're imprisoned, that we're profiled more. Like it won't change any of those things. It won't. What they'll do is they'll take those men, right, and they'll make them do the dirty work. They will force those black men to do the dirty work. So I think it's important that we remember, like, we're trying to live, not survive. You know what I mean? Like, we want the system to be reformed. We want that system to be dismantled. We don't want to stay stuck in that system and you know, help uphold that system, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And in that capacity, we're always going to be forced to uphold that system. We ain't never going to be able to tear it down and protect black women, protect black children. We're always going to have to uphold that system. They're not going to let us reform the system from within. They have shown that they would rather this country fall to the ground before they allow that to happen. Brother Court, give us your age, race, and pronouns, please.
I am. I'm 25. I'm a white male. Pronouns, I guess, he, him.
Talk to us.
I agree with what you're saying, man. I think. I mean, I don't know. I think. I'm just gonna say like this. I think the black community should be left to police and worry about the black community, and I think a lot of problems come from us trying to like force each other to get along. In reality, not saying that we don't want to coexist, but I mean, let's be real. The black community wants to be around the black community, and the white community wants to be around the white community, and they want to run their stuff accordingly. You know what I mean? I think you're kind of right on the nail. And a lot of people call that racism. I think that's just called being human, and us all trying to get on the same page.
Coming from you,
at the point where we can all just be 100%, you know, on the same page, coexisting together all the time, because we vary so wildly in opinion. I think, you know, I think you're kind of on the path to the right way of thinking.
Coming from you, it is racist.
Yeah,
Also,
no, I agree with that. No, also, there's no way to say other than I have to wear that label, 100%.
Absolutely, yeah. And be proud about it.
Yeah, no way. I'm not coming from a place of hate. I'm just telling you what it is, and you're gonna think that that's what it is. But I mean, you're the one who's trying to talk about different communities based on race, as though we're not all humans and children of God. And I mean, I'm coming from a place of love, and if you want to label me
I'm not
racist,
a child
that's
of God.
cool, but I'm
not a child of God.
Okay, that's cool, man. Well, I mean,
all right. Shout out to all the children of the ancestors.
Okay. What do you, dude? You know Christianity originated in Africa, right?
No, it actually didn't.
Okay, where did it originate?
Rome.
I got a question for you. Did you hop in the tub?
Huh? I'm telling. Where did Christianity originate?
Rome. It originated from Rome.
Listen, Christianity was in Africa before it was in Europe. The Ethiopian Bible is older than the King James, and it's the oldest, most unedited version of the Bible that we have.
Again, the Metropolitan Museum of Art has already kind of distributed essays about this, where they've confirmed that there's more evidence that suggests that Roman merchants trading with Aksum, which was in Ethiopia, modern-day Ethiopia, Aksum eventually adapted Christianity. Christianity became more prevalent in Aksum, and Aksum maintained all of the church structures that they had, as well as the Bibles, because they've never been colonized. But again, Rome did fall. Rome was plundered. Rome was looted, and a lot of those Roman artifacts you'll see across like European museums. But at the end of the day, all the principles and the concepts were pretty much stolen from African ideologies. But foundationally, the Romans were the ones that took all of those ideologies, stole them, and then created their own version of them, and then passed them around for people to.
That is precisely the nuance we needed to explain that. Thank you, Timothy. And shout out to Stella once again with the Panther Paws. Thank you, Stella. We already knew that was taking a left turn when he kept interrupting. Remember, on Brother Legends Live, I've been doing this live for over a year now. It's wild to even think about. I got 1,000 followers a year ago. I'm now at 41,000. A lot of people have hopefully got some knowledge, some value out of this live. But I've been doing this for a while, and only Thin Lipians and certain misogynistic brothers that need to cut in and tell us about Black women every now and then. But mostly Thin Lipians feel the need to come up here and start talking unprompted. Appreciate you, Lily. So that's how I could tell he was nibbling on mozzarella immediately. Like, you could tell. You know what I'm saying? You could just tell. Because they're the only ones that come up and just, oh, it's my turn to talk now. Like, what? We ain't calling you yet. And then also what he was saying about them wanting to have their own community and us wanting to have our own community. And when has anyone ever forced us to get along? That's what I want to know. Because he said, like, instead of trying to force everyone to get along, when was the goal of America to force people to get along? When did that happen? Can anyone, like, did we have integration or did we have desegregation? Did they integrate us into the power structure so that we had resources and access to wealth? Or did they just desegregate and let the pieces fall where they lay? Because that's what I think they did. I don't think we ever had integration. I don't think they ever tried to force everyone to get along. So yeah. So Timothy, you want to say something?
Oh no, I'm yeah, I mean mainly it was to the points that the dude was making, like it just like it yeah, no. It was just touching on correcting that cuz you know, the ideologies and just the refusal to really understand where historically a lot of that stuff comes from. Like that's vital.
Yeah.
Have full-blown conversations about how you think people of different demographics should interact, especially after one people group has been spending centuries oppressing the other. Then using the Bible, another form which was created for the purpose of oppressing, is literally just like, okay, all right, fine, I'll take the whip away, but instead I'll give you shackles. Like that, it's just,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah. I mean, we can acknowledge, you know, me, I'm you know, every day learning more and practicing more of the African spirituality that led to Christianity as I do more and more research in history, the customs of our people. I'm starting to see where those roots that you were talking about of Christianity, you know, just the idea that Jesus would speak on the soul and spirit. That's our ancestors all day. That's our idea. All right. That you are more than your mind and body. The soul idea, that's your ancestors, y'all. So any religion, any spiritual practice that thinks that there's a spirit, that's our ancestors, y'all. And so they tell you that you're a child of God to make you think that we all have the same father, because that way there's a big white man in charge of all of us. So when they start saying we're all children of God, or you walk past your white tea neighbor and she says, have a blessed day. They're just trying to remind you there's a big white tea man in the sky watching over us all. So remember to kneel before him. That's what they really trying to say. Remember the authority, remember Master in the sky. Oh, no, I've never heard a Christian say that God was white tea. But if his son looks like Jared Leto, what does the father look like? If the son looked like Jared Leto, what does the father look like? You do the math on that one. Because Morgan Freeman's son don't look like Jared Leto. Guarantee you that right now. I don't care what color the wife was. Son don't come out looking like Jared Leto if Morgan Freeman is the father. from what movie is that with Morgan Freeman is God? I forgot. But anyway,
Bruce Almighty.
yeah, Bruce Almighty. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. End of the day, they know that their idea of the big man in the sky comes from Zeus. That's who they picture to be God. And when they say that you're a child of God, remember that Africans don't see God as a being in the sky. Africans see God as the source of creation, the provider, the creator. So they see God as the creator. To say God is in the sky is anti-African because Africans believe God is not above but below. We believe God is the earth, and that's why in ancient African appreciate the gift. In ancient African architecture and statues that they would make, they would be smaller. Their shrines would be closer to the earth because they didn't believe God was in the sky. They believed God was in the ground. God is the earth from which we all come. So shout out to Black women, you know what I'm saying? Because they're the symbol of creation on the African continent. So, you know, we can that's how I look at it. So when people start telling me we're a child of God, I ain't a child of your God. I'm a child of a Black woman. Shout out to the sisters, man. And I'm definitely of the creator.
Yeah, that's a lot of the reason why they vilify Kemet, because they don't want you to. They vilify Kemet using Christian doctrine, because the second that you start researching Kemet, which is ancient Egypt, you start seeing that it's a Black African civilization, and then you actually start seeing a lot of the exact same principles and psychological property was actually instilled in Kemet and
Right.
predates the Bible, but the Bible is like copying it almost word for word.
Yeah, Moses did that according to Yosef ben Yachanan and Sheikh Anta Diop. We could talk about it, but I don't know if you know the African origin of civilization. He outlines how Moses just copied the 42 laws of Ma'at and the Amun Ra monotheistic God. How they made Amun Ra to unify Egypt, and they wanted everyone to worship one God, but the Jews had their Yahwism, and they didn't want to. They weren't called Jews at the time, by the way. That's a new word, but anyway,
Exactly.
Moses copied the whole idea.
Yeah, I couldn't put that part down when I was reading it. I was just like, oh man, this
I
is
know that part got me too. Like it because you're so used to hearing the Bible's version of the word. I'm sorry, of the word of that part. You're so used to hearing the Bible's telling of that part of history.
exactly.
That when Sheikh Anta Diop breaks it down through a geopolitical lens instead of a religious lens, it's like, also that what was going. It's like watching the news instead of listening to a pastor. Like, okay, the pastor might have the news in his message, but when you watch the news, it's more of a neutral, balanced, like, oh, that's what was going on at the time. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because
Yeah.
like the 42 laws of Ma'at, as well, from what I could find, I think it was more of like this might have been more of a university that coined, or at least put down the date, but the 42 laws of Ma'at are believed to have been started well around like 2900 BCE. Like that's the earliest evidence that they've been able to find it, even though I'm sure it predates that. But yeah, so that's literally thousands of years before any biblical stories. Like that's like it was deeply ingrained. And even when you read the teachings of Ptah Hotep, you can clearly see that he had there was a very strict set of laws and ideals and spiritual concepts that were in place that influenced his telling his spiritual son, which was his adopted son, like how to be a man and how to be a good man that honors honors their spirituality, but also honors their woman, and honors and like conducts themselves as how a man should conduct himself. And these are black men
Mhm.
having had a conversation about this. And Ptah Hotep was like 110 at the time he wrote this.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, man. I got to do that type of dive, man. We got to Egyptian live. We got to do that. See, this is what I'm saying. You got to join the Discord, brother, so we can. Like, I would love it if some of y'all could help me come up with prompts, because that is a conversation. We can get real hotep on y'all real quick. You know what I'm saying? Not the internet type of hotep. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
Not the internet hoteps,
as
but
soon
the
as this
Pan
live,
African. Go ahead.
yeah. Oh no, I was just saying, as soon as this live is done, because I tried to download the app through my other phone, but it was give me a big old red flag. So I'm gonna do it
Okay.
through this phone as soon as this live is done, and yeah, I'm in there.
Yeah, I'll help you out. Yeah. Yeah, that would be a good live. I'm posting these replays, and I'm growing the YouTube audience. So I'm hoping it'll get to a point. It might take some time, y'all. If it take me, I'm not gonna say 10 years, but if it took me, in 1 year I got 40,000 followers. If I can just remain consistent on YouTube, I think it'll eventually grow to a point where we're actually going to be able to put more of this knowledge out there. And you could tell who's been doing their research. YouTube is BIGBROLGND, just like my TikTok. BIG BRO LGND for legend without the E's. Yeah, y'all can look that up on YouTube, and the link is in my bio. The button is on my profile here on TikTok. I post all the replays. If y'all want, it's best to listen to them than watch them. They're not, it's not that visual. But yeah, if you listen to it like a podcast, it gets crazy in here. But yeah, we gonna start educating the brothers and sisters. We're not leaning one way or the other. We're just Pan African Garbyites on a mission to spread Pan African propaganda to the brothers and sisters. Why propaganda? Because you've already been propagandized. You've already been told the Eurocentric telling of your history. You've already been told the Eurocentric telling of your culture and your identity. And you've already been told the Eurocentric idea of value for your homeland and who you are. So guess what? We're going to break it down for y'all the Afrocentric way. And that's really what the platform is all about. We're not leaning left. We're not leaning right. We leaning forward. All right. We're going to go to the next guest. Denisha Ariel, could you give us your age, race, and pronouns, please?
Yes, I'm African American. I'm 31 and she, her pronouns.
All right. Thank you. Talk to us.
No, I was just scrolling and then I heard what you were saying, so I wanted to come up because I was like, yeah, you're spot on. Like I've been on TikTok. Well, I'm new to TikTok really. I've been on here for like a few months. And what I teach on my page is how they took our spiritual system and turned it upside down. So, and I get a lot of backlash for it. So I talk about how the Holy Spirit was originally the goddess Kodesh.
Who
And
now? How you spell that?
Kodesh, Qodesh, but you could spell it Quetesh. But just type in goddess Kodesh, it'll come up.
Okay. All right. You teaching me something new. I like that. I might have spelled it wrong. You said it could be, what's the second spelling?
Quetesh, like Katesh.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm learning something new. I knew about the Trinity, Kansu, Ra, and Moot. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? So I knew about Yosef ben Yakanin spoke on how Moot was the original um um benevolent creator of all things.
Mm-hmm.
and how that trinity eventually led to Amun Ra, who became the first monotheistic god of ancient Egypt, which led Moses to, the God of Abraham that he supposedly found in the desert. Um, but this is good stuff. I'm gonna do some research into Katesh.
Yeah, so she was the original Holy Spirit. She also known as like Isis, which is why they give us the whole Mary and Jesus, which is really just
Oh, okay.
Isis and Horus. So they really just took the whole story, and what they did was they changed the mother Isis to the father, right? So they changed the Holy Spirit to father. So they
Oh,
changed
okay,
it to
okay. All
father
right. So
and
that's what you're
son
talking about.
instead of mother and son.
Uh-huh.
So in the Igbo religion, she called Ani. So I am is translated in the Hebrew as Ani. So in the Igbo religion, she called Ani, and she
Mm.
is the manifestation of the earth. So you're right about that. I mean,
Okay.
it even say that in the Bible, but like it tell you that Mother Earth it's in the book of Ecclesiastics. But people try to
So
break
is
that
Moot
off like,
is Moot is Moot the same goddess?
yeah,
Because
it's the same
okay.
archetype.
Okay.
So
All
like
right,
she had
cool.
different names, like in different cultures.
Right, okay. All right, so yeah. All right, so I just never I just didn't remember that name, but that's amazing. I mean, we know that Egyptian history was so vast. Like according to Sheikh Anta Diop, he says it lasted 20,000 years. You could trace Egyptian history back 20,000 years. And he said that's um a modest middle ground. They wouldn't say that in Eurocentric history. They would say, I think, what, 6,000 years. But he says he can trace it back much further because he probably also includes, Lower Egypt and the Kushite, the ancestors, them. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
But yeah, that's real, man. Yeah, we gonna have this live. How do you feel about the questions up above?
Are interracial relationships harmful to Black unity and progress? Look, here I go. That's a hard question because I hate to like be offensive or feel like I'm offending
Oh,
people.
okay.
But
Oh, okay. That might not be
uh,
your thing, but
Well, Queen,
so
listen, I'm the product of an interracial marriage and identify as a Black African man, and I'm against it. So you're good. Speak your truth.
yeah, like my husband is Black. I definitely feel like we should be focusing on us and getting out of our situation before we start branching out and doing, all of this other stuff. So,
wait, hold on. We do a thing on my live when somebody mentioned, especially a sister, or no, actually, especially a brother. We do that for both of them. Shout out to Black Love, man. All the brothers and sisters that are married to brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? Living life intentionally and growing that connection between the Black man and the Black woman, the most ancient bond in human history. So yeah, big
yeah.
up yourself.
I say that to say because like even like if you look at the Jewish community, they keep like a matrilineal descent, and they believe that it's because the spirit is passed down through the mother. So like when we are choosing our partners or whatever, if you want them to be like, how we say like white people got soul, you know what I mean? Like that's being passed down through the maternal line. So I mean, like it just depends on what you want for yourself. If you want to hold on to that, then I would definitely say, find a Black woman, find a Black man to pass down that same spirit because when this is especially for men because like I said, it's the woman who's passing down the
That's
spirit.
why. That's why I said. That's why I switched up when I said that.
So if you marry a woman outside of your race, your children ain't gonna have that same spirit. It's gonna be a different spirit. So I think we should just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. And if your wife ain't a revolutionary, she gonna convince you to be a slave. That's to the brothers. So you definitely want a wife that's intentionally able to love herself love herself, and then you become an extension of that love. Same thing to the brothers. Love yourself. Don't come on TikTok talking about what black women need to be doing and all this other stuff. You need to be focused on yourself, loving yourself, and you will attract that same self-love in a sister that embodies what you are trying to manifest in your reality moving forward, because it's all about what your intentions are as a man. But yeah, all right. Did you have anything else you want to share with us, sister?
No, we can move on. I'll just chime in whenever.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Carmelina, could you give us your age, race,
Good
and
morning,
pronouns,
sir.
please?
Good morning, sir. Hello. I just want to participate, and thanks for having me, and blessings to all. Merry Christmas to everybody. And I'm
This ain't a
I'm
Merry
in
Christmas.
Italy. I live in
but
I live in Italy, so it's good morning to everybody from here. It's almost 5 in the morning, and thanks for having me again. And Yenton, I came across a video the other day on
before you
YouTube. And
start, could you give us your age,
yes,
race, and pronouns
sure,
as an introduction?
I'm 63 years old, she, her, and white. But I don't find myself. I don't define myself. I don't look at people. I don't look at them as their color. I look at them as
Must be
people,
nice.
as human beings. I don't,
Must be nice.
in my family, yes, my mother is of Sicilian descent, and my father is from the northern part of Italy. As you know, Sicily was dominated by so many races, Greek, Spanish, so many denominations. We have African. We're from North, we have little African blood, 11% of North African blood. So I wasn't born with racism in my blood or ever having to do with racial problems, because all my mother taught us was love to humankind. So
Must
the
be
other
nice.
day, yes, sir, yes, it is. I never see people as their color. I look at them with the face of love, with love in my eyes and in my heart. So the other day I was coming along a video on TikTok, and I saw a man, a white man, who was in Africa. He went to see this tribe that was part of his great grandmother or grandmother's descendancy, and his grandmother was African. This tribe was of Chinese descendant, so they had Chinese features, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful women and beautiful men, and they had Chinese features. This African tribe was of Chinese descendants. So when
No.
they were in line,
The Chinese are descendants of them.
yes, and they were in line saluting him with their hand on their heart, and that really brought tears to my eyes. And he was saying, I don't feel racism. I never felt it because my grandmother is part of this tribe. So I am part African. I never felt that we are all connected in one way or the other. All of us. All of us have African American.
Thank you, gosh. I know she didn't say African American. Oh my goodness. Thank you for them pause, man. It is wild what you will find up here. And these are the people that be teaching y'all children. This is why I say keep your kids up out their schools. These are the people that's your teachers, your principals. Go ahead, Black Swan. What you gonna say, sister?
It's a fucking racist in here.
Somebody's
You guys,
triggered.
you guys have no sympathy for white people whatsoever. You
Hey,
guys literally
LJ,
just
did
are
you
a group think, and you
LJ, did you
literally
hop in the
only
tub
want to
today?
hear what.
Yeah, I had to block him. That's why he was up there so long. My bad, y'all. When you block him before you kick him, it takes a while. But I had to block him because when they come up here that inflammatory, then they say a bunch of wild words, and then they go down and they report the live, even though they're the ones that said the words. TikTok will punish me for that. But appreciate you not listening, Stella. Man. Thank you to the sisters that's been protecting the live. Appreciate y'all. Go ahead, Black Swan.
The when they come up here and they talk like that and they'll say those things like, I was taught to love all people, And I don't see people this way. You're not coming up here telling us or doing anything for us. You came up here to center yourself in an attempt to alleviate yourself from what's really within you. That's literally what we're hearing. And she's literally thinking that she's sending and spreading this message of peace. And it's just like, that's like, no, like, we don't care. If you come up here talking about the work that you've done, like somebody like, I always get his name wrong on TikTok. I just use his name because I know him and I've seen the work that he's done. But John, is it Big John or John?
Oh, Big Bear John Brown.
Yes, Big Bear John Brown. Like when he comes up here, he's not centering himself or searching for validation in the work that he does. And he actually is knowledgeable on what he's doing. And he talks about dismantling systems. He talks about anti-racism, and he talks about, you know, teaching other people. And that's one distinction I always try to make, is that when people are truly doing the work and they understand what anti-racism really is, they're going and teaching other people, because it doesn't mean anything to us if you've unpacked it for yourself. You did yourself a favor. You're not doing us a favor. And I don't think that people realize that. Like, we're not, like, it just is kind of like watching paint dry when they come up here and they say stuff like that, you know?
It is disingenuous as hell, because if we all African, then free the Congo. Free the Congo, y'all. If we all African, then get France the hell about the Sahel region. Then you know, free Zimbabwe. You know what I'm saying? Free Sudan, free Libya. We all African, y'all. We're all connected in one way or another. Hey, free Haiti. Canala Pop Compay. You know what I'm saying? I probably say that with a wild accent. I don't speak French or Creole. But y'all, those that know what I mean know what I mean. You know, I did enough research to know that that's the slogan for the movement. Canal la pop Campe. The canal will not stop. As they build a canal on the river that the Dominican Republic is trying to keep them from building, so that they can farm their own land after years of having their resources and ability to feed themselves stifled by the West. Oh, I did say it right. Thank you, sister. Kanala Pop Compay. I really think if we all African, then they need to do a better job at protecting African people. Kay, what's going on, sister?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
I'm good.
Good day, great night. I know.
Yeah.
Like, hey.
Feeling good, feeling great. How are you though?
I'm doing good, you know. Hey, I'm here with y'all, so that's like the best part of the day. I'm for real. Like, I'm always late to the party. I done missed out on the last ones. D was filling me in, talking about how y'all was talking about a few other things. I'm like, bro, I'm always missing. I gotta get on it. You gotta get on your Zoom. You gotta get on your Zoom for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely listening to these people. You know, I like to just jump in here and there, but you know, hey, I speak on the topics and stuff when we talk about it. But you know, I'm listening to y'all. Y'all always right. That was definitely watching grass grow. I thought I had a measuring stick and a pair of scissors. I was trying to get each inch right, because I don't know what they, like you said, sawing and be up here just telling us, like, that's making us feel better. She want her cookie. I'm like, here you go, baby, on your way.
Because the harmful part is, we all African, so we gonna keep taking y'all resources and not giving y'all nothing for it. How does that benefit any? Y'all talking? They talking about like humanity and all this other. How does it benefit humanity for everyone, including Chinese people, to start claiming that they're African? Like, so now y'all gonna want our land and our resources and access to our culture. Like, it gets real wild when we start saying we all African.
You know? She was in that eugenics. She was counting her 11%. Did you hear her tally it up? So
right. Yeah, that started getting wild. Yeah.
For real.
And then she said we all have African American blood. Like, you don't even know the difference between African and African American. What are we doing?
No, she's Sicilian. Right?
Like, right, yeah. Like, so how you got African American blood? You don't even know African American is an ethnicity, not even race in itself. Now it's a mono. I guess I don't know if monoracial is the right word, but it is a ethnicity tied to a race of Africans. Duh. But to say we all have African American blood, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Y'all want African American blood? Just say that. Look, what happened to genuine racism. Why do you want black people to vote? That's that little video somebody said, because they didn't like them. Thank you. That's all you had to say.
I didn't see that video.
It was like, yeah, so why did y'all take certain rights away? I mean, well, because isn't it such a hassle to try to define it in a long-winded explanation? Just be like, I don't really mess with them folks. I mean,
Right.
that's it. At least I know where you're coming from, because that's less of a fear. I know you ain't got a secret agenda. It's right up there.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
but thank you. I'm speaking here too, when y'all say stuff, but I'm just at the moment, hey, I'm definitely listening, because that was, woo. Oh, man, I better say, my one thing I want to say, Dee didn't tell you that, when we was in her live a little bit ago, we had this man come up, and he said at first he was mixed, right? But
You said at first, like
yeah, at first. But then he said, "No, I'm black." And then he started saying why we were putting ourselves down so far and why we can never, pull ourselves up, and how he owned half the mountains in Africa, just crazy. And he was like, "Yeah, my mother is black and my dad is white tea." And I was like, "Man, this man's crazy." I said, "He crazy."
Yeah.
And then he looked very, and I don't say this as a derogatory way, but he looked very ethnic, right? Like, you can look a lot of different ways when you're, black biracial, but him, like I said, bro, if you think you walk in places and they not clutching their pearls, like, when they see you, you'd be wrong. He phenotypically did look really black, so I was like, man.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's a shame. It be them. Yeah.
Bruh, you need to make sure you qualify these people that are Nebras, because they're special. They got black and white like a zebra. He's a Nebra.
Them neighbors. Sister, Leisha's asking for us to activate. Would you mind?
Here we go, y'all ready? Clap your hands, everybody. Everybody just clap your hands. You done came to the space and about the funky hands. Hey, get in the tub. Make sure you scrub and out, clean your feet. Because we know they be just black as tar, and you know who you be. Hey, hello. And welcome to Brother Legends Live. You guys, you are in Brother Legends Live. I need you guys to tap that screen. Why are we sitting at 53.7K? Where have you guys been? I need you to tap in and tap up. What are you waiting on? I need to get to 100K, but we'll take 75 for now. So tap the screen, share the live, and get some of them poons in here. You know I like to kick and scratch and paw at people. And when you see foolery up here, send the paws. Tap the screen, share the live, but make sure you subscribe to Brother Legends Live. You guys subscribe here and on YouTube. But don't forget to join Brother on Twitter, because he over there showing out as well. But most importantly, make sure you join be1initiative.org, where you can learn to be great. But at the end of the day, send your host some gifts. Quit being stingy. It's Friday and you funky, but I know you got some money. All right now.
Appreciate you, D. Yes, y'all, please, all the conscious brothers and sisters that be in the lives, I need y'all to follow my Twitter, BIGBROLGND, same as everywhere else, BigBroLGND. You will find me on Twitter. I'm over there fighting the mayonnaise, but I'm there to unite us. Twitter is a lot more uncensored than TikTok, so we can have some realer discussions. If you want to holler at me on Twitter, feel free. Hey, oh man, look. Hey, that's wild. Stella, that was a mini movie.
That was so pretty.
That was crazy. Shout out to Stella, man. Listen, I don't know where we'd be without Stella. I'm so glad that Stella be showing off with her digital I don't know what you call that, little graphic things. Yeah. That just, it's like a warm hug from Black women when she do that. Cause in real life, the sister's been holding my platform down for a minute, to be honest. But follow Twitter too. I'm trying to tell y'all, follow Twitter too. If you Black, I'll follow back. Brothers and sisters, especially if you be in here, just tweet me real quick. Even if you do it right now, I'm cool with that. I'm not. It's gonna make my numbers go down, but Just go and come right back. Just tweet me, BIGBROLGND. Say, hey, I heard about you on the live. I'll follow you. Let's get the algorithm going. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's make a little community. I'm gonna be retweeting y'all. I'm gonna be, interacting, talking to y'all. Just don't put no COON shit up on your TikTok. Please don't do that. And then expect me not to say something. I'm gonna hold all of y'all accountable. You know what I'm saying? So, hey man, y'all listen. Y'all know how I get on here. So you know what I'm saying. Any of y'all go on Twitter, start showing your ass. I'm gonna let you know. You just don't let me see it. Don't let me. Yeah, y'all gonna eat them up too.
No, not you talking about Twitter. Twitter is an ass in itself. Like, wait
Twitter
a minute.
is crazy. Nah,
Hold on.
Twitter is crazy. I've seen some of the most racist, hilarious stuff today. I just been tweeting all day, like, because I found out that I could tweet from work. I can't go live from work, so I'll be missing out on a lot. But I can actually tweet and still do my job. So I was tweeting. I'm like, bruh, today was crazy. So I definitely need some of the conscious brothers and sisters. This the conscious corner of TikTok. I need y'all on my Twitter so we can talk. You know what I'm saying? My platform is for y'all. It's unfortunately we don't have our own social media platform, so it might at some point involve a thin lipian or two, but we doing this for y'all. Patreon, I don't know nothing about Patreon. What is that? I don't even know what that is.
It's another type of site, but on that site, it's kind of like, I don't want to say like an OnlyFans, but it's like an OnlyFans mixed with a Twitter account, mixed with like Instagram and a touch of Facebook, because you can post almost anything, right? Like, it's almost uncensored. Like, you can say whatever, right? And some people get on there and, they do explicit, and some people go on rants, if you know what I'm saying. So, like, you could pretty much be anything, well, within reason, right? Within reason, but like, you can't be a T word, like a person who does acts of T, so you can't be one of those. But yeah,
now
it's paid,
that's the thing, because Hoodoo said it's paid. Hoodoo, you better tweet me on Twitter so I can find you. But the only hang up I'm gonna have with Patreon, if it's paid, is I don't want to limit access to this information to brothers and sisters. Like, that's the thing. That's the thing I like about TikTok Live is it's free for everybody who wants to watch. Everybody that's here, we can have these productive conversations. We can share narratives, counter arguments to racism that we encounter in our daily lives. All of that is great, and it's free. And if you want to donate or give a gift, I got the donation link in my bio. You can send gifts. Like, all of that is of your own free will. I don't know about a paywall that might stop some brothers and sisters, from.
Well, it's kind of like, how people have like YouTubes and stuff. It's like a supplemental for the backstage extra, like the stuff you can't say on YouTube. Like, a lot of people do like predator poaching, like things like that, and they can't put certain stuff that they asked that person in that scenario on YouTube. So they'll use things like, that, and also another one, I can't remember what the other one's called, people are using a lot, but I think it's Rampage, and then another one. But they'll use them so that you can get like, hey, you want to say something blatantly without skip hopping around it? Like, yeah, this the way. I mean, they make it pretty cheap. You can make it like as little as $1, for a subscription. But
I know
it's just, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll think about it. I'm trying to utilize all these platforms. I might do like a anti-racism.
I was just gonna suggest that.
You
do
are?
an do an anti, because there's a psychology to free things and paid things, and even though you don't want to put that information behind a paywall, something as simple as $1 might just get you people who are serious enough, and like $1 a month is not anything necessary to lose per se. But I do think Patreon for anti-racist would be great. And then you put a nice little monthly subscription fee on there, and those of them who are really serious about working on themselves, they can pay you, and that can help your org or whatever else other projects you're trying to fund. I think that's a great idea. If you serious about it, put your money where your mouth is and show me how anti-racist you intend to be by subscribing to my Patreon.
Right.
And then
Exactly.
I'll do the labor of showing you the way.
And then right, you know what I'm saying? And even though I know that will still be in vain, but at least, you got to pay to feel like you're doing the work, but you're not. But for the brothers and sisters, the pro black truth will come at no cost always on my live, because that's something I need all of us to realize, is more about our history. So I'm thinking of doing a YouTube like series as well. So maybe I'll do a pro black one on YouTube and anti-racism. Somebody said Patreon. Patreon is for the anti-racist. That's what we talking about. When we say anti-racist, we not really talking about black folks. I don't know why black folks even I don't even personally, y'all do what you want. I don't feel like brothers and sisters should even be bothering themselves with anti-racism. We only trying to be anti-racist because we're trying to fit in a racist society. So we need them to change their minds and how they view us so that we can live amongst them. Pro-blackness is about us doing what the hell we want to do with ourselves and in our own communities. So I prefer that, if I do anything for pay, it would be for anti-racists. You know what I'm saying?
Another quick, it's not really maybe a suggestion. I don't know.
Mhm.
I know it's the end of December, but can we do like a cross platform, like assemble like Votron, pro blackity black, something for Black History
Kwanzaa?
Month?
Oh, Black History
I
Month?
mean, if we could post something off for Kwanzaa, I'm down for that too. But like, I was
Mhm.
thinking Black History Month. That just crossed my mind as you were talking. Like that
That
would be
is
dope.
good.
Like if all the people
Are
that
you in the Discord?
I tried to join. See, I put a message
I
in.
think. Oh yeah, you are.
Am
You
I? I
joined
haven't
before
gone back
D.
to check. Yeah, because I can't change my profile picture in there, but I can verify it in other ways if y'all need me to.
No, you good. You
Oh,
good.
okay.
We know you real.
But yeah, I think that would be dope. Like Black History Month, we just push out a whole bunch of black content. Like if it's like history stuff about Africans in the diaspora or whatever. Like I think that would be dope. And there's so many of us that frequent the same space. Like if everybody just did one, I think that would be a lot. And like we cross promote.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we got to talk about things like this in the Discord. That's what I'm saying. In the Discord, you can do like a Zoom meeting, and we can just take 1 hour. Me, you, D, Timothy, Black Swan, if you want to join, CB Librarian, whoever else wants to take part. There's people in here, I'm sure, that have platforms. You know what I'm saying? That they grow into. We could get together. Yeah, Discord. Someone said, "Can we get a Discord tutorial?" Wait, if you join the Discord, you can get a Discord. I have one in there.
Okay, I'm gonna look for that because I have it, but I don't really know how to use it.
Yeah, I'll show y'all. It's just like a chat room. But there's layers to it. There's layers to it. So only certain people can see certain things. But yeah, we could have a meeting, and then we're going to do a book club for the book. What is the name of it?
Past the discontent origins of.
Yeah, Cast the Origin of Our Discontents by Isabel Wilkerson.
I'm waiting for mine to come.
Okay. I'm an audiobook kind of guy, so I might beat y'all. I like listening to audiobooks while I take showers. So I'll probably have that done in a few weeks. I would say, I think the movie comes out on like the 20th or 28th of January. So I would say after the holidays, we could start just have a little book club, just kind of talk about it too, just with some of the people in there.
I love our people. I have never heard anybody measure how long it's going to take them to finish a book in the length of showers. Hey, how long is it going to take you to finish this? Oh, probably about 3 weeks worth of showers. That's funny. I got that.
Yeah,
I love that. Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I was a musician for a long time, so I'm an audio learner more than a visual. So I can read a whole book and not remember a word of what I read. So I'm better just listening to it. But let me go to Defiance. What's going on, sister?
What's going on, Brother Legend?
Peace.
Rome, Black Swan, D, KK, Tia, Timothy. Is this still your birthday, Tim?
Oh no, mine was yesterday.
Oh,
Oh,
blessed Earth strong. All
Like
right.
you didn't tell us happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, and I said that yesterday. I said, "Where's Timothy at?" And it was his birthday. Yeah.
yeah,
Thank
happy
you.
belated.
Oh, I appreciate it.
So yeah, what is it? Age, race, and pronouns. Age,
Mm-hmm.
I am old enough to buy both tobacco and alcohol in the same transaction.
Okay.
And race, I'm Black. And then pronouns, Kay, this is for you. I am yay yay.
Bet.
What
So
that mean? What y'all be doing?
No, it was from earlier. She's just messing with me because it was an older lady who was like, I don't really care about those myself and this and that. And I was just saying, like, I appreciate the sentiment, but, maybe you could clarify because some people feel like when you say that, you don't care about how they value to perceive themselves. And, we were
Oh.
just having some discourse about that, but she's just poking fun at me. Yeah, look, this
yeah.
is an alluding to earlier. Look.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. I
she
thought
just
y'all was
messing with
all
me.
right.
Yeah, but
Nah,
you
so,
know, Kay,
yeah.
you know what, Kay? Right after we spoke, I was studying Swahili on Duolingo, which I recommend everybody at least delve into that.
Is that good to learn Duolingo? That's a app or something?
Yeah, it's really good. It's pretty like the Spanish uh, language is really good. Now Hebrew is, I feel like they complicated that on purpose. They don't want us learning what they really think
Yeah.
about us. So they overcomplicate that. And then Swahili is pretty. You say it exactly how you see it. I really like that language so far.
Mm.
And what I learned is it's like Spanish. You say it how you see it. And so what I learned with the pronoun game, excuse me, what I learned with the pronoun game with Swahili is that they have a gender neutral pronoun. Yeye
Yeah.
is gender neutral. They
Yeah.
don't,
That's what I be saying on my I be like saying this about
oh, I didn't
like
know that.
5, 6 times alive. Yeah, like that's why when African brothers and sisters come up here from the continent, we all African, but African brothers and sisters from the continent, when they come up here and they kind of stumble on the pronouns thing, I let it slide because I'm like, I know that technically, and this is now, here's where it gets all
Mm-hmm.
right, here come the nuance,
I
y'all.
know where you're going.
LGBT as an identity is Eurocentric. The genders
Yes.
and the roles and all that is Eurocentric. Pronouns is still a colonial identity.
Yes.
We are all people of the tribe. And that's it. All our hairstyles, whether it's locks, afros, cornrows, all of this is unisex. We didn't do all of that until the colonizers came. So that's the thing. So sometimes I agree with, PLO Lumumba, Dr. Umar. Sometimes I agree. I don't agree with Dr. Umar's approach. I think he be wilding. I'm gonna be honest. Every Pan African does not agree with Dr. Umar on some of the approach because how you live your lifestyle, how you love, that has always been practiced on the African continent. However, it was not an identity, and that's when it becomes part of a Eurocentric social construct. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
So I guess if your pronouns is yay, you woke it in. You woke it in the
Everybody.
wokeness.
That
Yeah.
that's facts, man. Shout out to
Anyway,
Yay Yay. Shout out to all the Yay Yay. Absolutely. I love that.
so let's see. Are interracial relationships harmful to the Black community or harmful to Black unity / progress? Excuse me. The more I learn in this room, the more I get like angry when I see it. I wasn't always like, I used to be very like, oh, love is love. And, they're just, you can't help who you fall in love with, saying things like that. And now I understand why my grandmother was so pissed off when she would see things. that I think as I get older, I'm like, oh, now I understand why she was so cantankerous. Like she was just over it. She used to say things that just seems kind of wild. Like she couldn't stand Eartha Kitt. For those of y'all, youngins out here, that's the she hated Diana Ross. She could not stand that woman. And everybody else who was out here sliding on the white peen. And I just didn't get it at the time. I was like, well, my daddy's mixed. Like, why are you, I'm focused
That
on.
might have been why. Dang.
And so she was really trying to help me with my identity. And that's something that, because my mama was color struck. I'm just gonna be honest. She liked them super light skin, and that's just what she liked. And my granny was she didn't go for it. She didn't like that. So I get it. I don't really have to go into the reasons, but actually I can just go into as far as the racial identity and the pride in blackness and Africanness. That family can't do anything for that. You can't teach a mixed child, a biracial child, how to be pro-black, B, identify with their blackness. That's something that an African grandmother has to do. That's what my granny did for me, because I was coming home from school talking about I wanted to change my name to Maggie, and I had a super black name. And there was no confusion about, I'm not going to put my government name on here, but there was when you heard my name, there was no confusion where I was from, what year I was born, that kind of thing, what was popular in the 90s, one of those names. So, I don't think interracial relationships can help with a black child identifying as black. Is preferring to date another race, I think that's what it says behind Tia, a fetish.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It depends. The things that I've heard, whether it's coming from brothers or sisters, like from brothers, they'll say things like, well, white women are more pleasant. And I know, right? It's so cringe.
Gets me nauseous.
It's so cringe.
They better ask Majors.
Right.
I like to, I think we should rub that in every brother's face.
Yeah.
Rub their nose in it. Because that's realistically what could happen. Like, I don't understand how we came from, you used to get lynched. I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that word.
Yeah.
Sorry, you used to get licensed. That's what I said. Just for whistling at a woman, or not even whistling.
Looking at a picture of one. Got a brother unalived.
Yeah, exactly. And now you lose your whole career and your livelihood. And to me, it's like, that's like a slap on the wrist, because you should have known better in comparison to where you're coming from in your history. So I hear that, and then I hear the divestors, those women, I hear them say things like, white tea men treat black women better, and it just on both sides, it just sounds like there's just trauma. You had some sort of trauma of how one of ours treated you, and therefore, you went the opposite direction, and now you're just a clown because you saw the fallout with interracial marriages during the COVID lockdowns. A lot of them in BLM, marches and all that, they couldn't hang together. They couldn't even stand each other. And you didn't realize that until you got, you were stuck with a person in the house. You realize that your partner is completely racist. So there's that. And then you have, can you be pro-black with
a non-black spouse?
Non-white, absolutely not. That's why I don't understand why people are getting so excited about Cornel West. That nigga just screams anti-racist. Oh, yeah.
Anti-racist.
His wife?
Yeah,
his wife is like Indian or something like that.
He has a wife. WHIFE. He has a wife.
Wow. I didn't even know he was married all these years. Wow. I'm sorry, Defiance. I just
No apologies necessary.
Cornell
It blew
West.
my mind too.
did not know that.
Yeah. It's almost like it's a prerequisite now. If you're
You know what? I'm sorry. Go ahead, sister. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, what weirds me out about Cornell West is
Did you
he
say
will go on.
Cornel West?
Yeah, he go on Fox News and he'll talk to, I think it was it Tucker Carlson? What's the other guy on Fox News? Not Tucker Carlson, the other one that was friends with Trump.
I can't
God,
keep
his
up
name,
with them.
the fat one.
Hannity.
Hannity. He goes on Sean Hannity. He says, oh, now listen, brother Hannity. Listen, brother this, brother
Ew.
that. Calling them brother. Like, he keeps saying, oh, yeah, Bernie Sanders. Now, that's my brother right there. He's a good brother. He's just wrong on this, but that's a good brother. We are all brothers. Like, he keeps saying that everyone's a brother. And then he going to turn around and talk about he black and what black people need to be doing for Palestine and all this other stuff, man, just because your wife is Palestinian, man.
Oh, wait, his wife is Palestinian?
Yeah.
Was
I did
he
not know that.
Hulk Hogan?
That's why he feel like he can do it. But that shows you that he's just anti-imperialism, anti-colonialism, anti-racism. He ain't pro-black. You see what I'm saying? There's difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. He's not for us. He's not trying to build with us and do what we trying to do. He's trying to dismantle and focus on dismantling systems of oppression so that we can live more comfortably among them. And that's where he loses me.
Exactly. You know, you said a lot, and somebody in the comments said Hannity isn't fat. That's what
y'all
you
be
got from
defending
it.
them, man.
Which one of y'all called him fat?
I called him fat.
Oh, well, I couldn't even hear that with the rest of the stuff you said. Look,
you
didn't get mad at calling him Cornball West, but you got mad at fat. That fat was an observation. Cornball West could have been maybe a stretch if you argued it correctly. I mean,
I said Cornel West. You said Cornball. That's better though. I like Cornball West.
Somebody said that in the comments. Hold on.
Yeah, he's a cornball. He definitely
is a cornball. That's a good one. I like
cornball. But I like Kunal. I like Kunal too. Because he's handing out brother like it almost sounds like yes a massa.
That's what I thought he was Hulk Hogan. Okay, brother. I'm gonna dismantle systemic racism for our oppression to be amongst them, brother. Like he's not your brother.
Y'all remember
Baby King?
Y'all remember when YT women was on here calling black women misses?
Ew, bruh. And Queen.
They was getting dragged left and right. Like, girl, I am not your sister. What are you talking about?
That's crazy.
And yes, Queen. I couldn't stand. It made me I just couldn't.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Like, I'm seeing them increase. Like, just the other live, I saw some, powdery pasty randomly saying like, yeah, because y'all queens need to. I'm like, hold up, time out. No. We're not gonna slide past the fact that you just tried to appropriate an entire term of endearment that only black men should be allowed to address black women as. Like, nah, we ain't about to just skate past what you just said.
But that's what those divestors like. They like when, white men start colonizing the culture, as long as their money is white and really green and their culture is, not overtly racist, they love that. They're thinking it's an upgrade from a brother with money. And it's highly unfortunate. So
it's given because I wasn't raised in Thailand. I be in Georgia. Like I couldn't even imitate it. I know y'all seen that one with the Asian black scent. I was like, how? I'm like, how? Like,
the queen thing goes back. The queen thing goes back to ancient Kemet. I wish that sister that was up here earlier talking about Kemet was up here because she was talking about the goddess popularly known as Isis because Greek people came and named her Isis. But earlier, earlier before she was called Isis, her name was Moot, and she was depicted as a dark skinned black woman. Oh, we got Eri down here. Eri be knowing. And before she was called Moot, she was called another name too.
Or set.
Oh yeah, okay. Yep, there we go. Yep, that's right. And so when she was Moot, Moot was another word for mother, right? Moot, mother. But they would use Moot whenever a sister had a child. So when she had a child, they would literally call her a goddess, also queen. It's synonymous. So that's why when I learned that, like before, I used to hear people calling the black women goddess this, goddess that, and I'm just like, all right, y'all putting a little too much on it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of wild. Like, but then when I saw it was really part of our culture, I'm like, wow, isn't that like that's crazy? So now I have no problem calling. I always wasn't as woke as I am today, y'all. I had to learn some too, believe it or not. I know he's got a TikTok. I'm human. Like I grew up in an anti-black world as well, and I thought it would be putting too much game, like or like a woman when I think I'm trying to spit game, I'm calling her a goddess. But nah, that's really part of our culture. We treat our black women as gods, and black women specifically, because Moot was always depicted as a dark-skinned woman. So Moot, when a woman had a child, you would call her Moot. You would refer to her as Moot. So you literally call her a goddess because she created life. Like if that ain't a goddess, I don't know what is.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know what it is. Like right, like that's the closest thing you're gonna get to a creator in real life, y'all. Other than that, we all come from the earth. So
I ain't gonna lie, I really am not a fan of the king and queen thing. I hate it so much.
Why is that?
I hate it so much. It just came off so not in this space, but like in real life, for me, it just comes off incredibly performative. And I find that again in my real life experience, the people that seem to use those terms most treat people the complete opposite of how you would treat a king or a queen. And so I hate it. So I'm just like, it gives me the ick, the cringe, whatever I hear it. I'm like, just call me my name. Like I don't want to. Don't call me a queen, because like if your behavior and your reverence is not going to match that, like please no. Like I'm good.
I
I'm
apologize.
so good
I
off
address
that.
everybody as queen. I apologize. I really
Send
do,
me
because
one.
I don't, okay, can I call you goddess? Because I just be wanting to extend, like, brother said, because I knew this too. And I also wanted to further what he said about, I think about this on the level of too, how a lot of the things that they say are kinks in this world, like with race play and stuff like that. I'm like, it makes me wonder, because there's certain sectors where that's like a real big part of it. And those are majority fetishized with, black women. So I'm like, because they, like they literally, they walk men like a dog, and they, they call them goddess, they call them queen, and they say they like,
I would
you the queen.
say, now I would say when a black man calls a black woman queen, it could also be an indicator that he has love for himself. That's what I've noticed, is that the more I unpack and learn more, unpack anti-blackness, right? It's inherent in the society. More I find more things to throw out of my vocabulary, the more I start to love myself, the more easily I'm able to see myself in black women and black men. So I understand how the term has been corrupted, of course, by men that, use that term to try to
That's what I'm saying, but they
so that's the
infiltrate
thing.
everything. They infiltrate everything. Like I was just
Yeah.
saying with the other part, the queen part, the goddess part. It's like it be running so deep they don't even be knowing how to use it. They run out of ways to use it. So I just start inserting it into situations and think, oh, maybe did I get it right that time? Did I get it right that time? Did I get a new clip on Amazon Reels? And now am I going to be viral for knowing the lyrics of a Young Dolph song? Did I get it now? Am I invited to the cookout now? It's like, bruh.
But that's the thing. When people call me king, I still also am able to assume they're, I'm gonna say this word, coon. Like I'll be seeing them, and I'm like, and that's the thing. I have mad empathy for my people when I first meet them, but I'm gonna be honest. At best, I'm gonna think you a COON when I meet anybody. Like because it's inherent in this society. Like we all have the tendency to be anti-black. That we have to be intentional towards unpacking in order to get to a certain level. So I still assume. So that's what I'm saying. I'm able to call women queen, and even when they act like less than what I would consider conscious, I could still not have to take that away from them because I understand that they just a misinformed queen. You know what I'm saying?
They finding their way back. They just haven't got all the steps there yet. That's what I like to say. I don't contribute. We do the balance. Yeah. For real.
Well,
But it's like,
also like psychologically, when you reverse and you start to immediately push forward the extreme positive of a term of endearment, you immediately subconsciously uplift that person's confidence. So like, for example,
Yeah, I like
if
that.
like if you're walking back and forth like every single day in the hood, like and it wasn't even the hood, it was literally just, it was a black community, and it was trying to be like people within the community were trying to be rough and tough, but it was just like, bro, you grew up right next to me. Like I saw you eat dirt as a kid, so we ain't about to play that game. But like with the term of endearment being the N-word, and that being a form of how the oppressor has dehumanized us, and then us turning it around and trying to claim that as a term of endearment, but then taking the word hotep and then using that as an insult when it actually used to be the reverse. Like we literally used to address each other as hotep. We even put it in our names thousands of years ago back in Kemet. And hotep pretty much just translates to a very deep spiritual sense of the translation, meaning be at peace. So like you literally so me, I'm thinking, okay, if I want to give the person of African ancestry that I'm interacting with a sense of belonging and a sense of uplifting, because I know that beyond the shadow of a doubt that he's facing the same world that I'm facing. So that means that he's probably not going to hear that from anybody throughout the entire day. So yes, I'm going to address him as a king. Of course, I'm going to address that black woman walking past me as a queen. Like, and absolutely have zero intentions of interacting with them in any, hey, I need something from you in order for me to address you. No, I'm going to address you as I see you. I see you as a queen. 4,000 years ago, you would have been walking around with gold bracelets, copper, and you would have had more than likely an entourage of people like assisting you throughout your daily activities.
Right.
You would have been addressed the exact same way. Hotep queen.
And to quote Cornball West, one of the only times I will quote this man, he said that if you love black people, you will tell them the truth, and you don't tell the truth to someone you love to get love back. So that being the case, you can put love on black people, but don't do it because you expect it back. Do it because you love yourself.
Exactly. I heard that. Timothy, I think that to go along with what you were saying about Hotep, I'm convinced that the little hat people are taking everything. They're the ones responsible for inverting the positive things that we come up with and turning it into something.
Little hat people.
And the reason why I say the little hat people, well, you know who I'm talking about. And
no,
the reason
I'm really lost. Who the little hat people?
The little hats with the stars. You don't know who she talking about? They eat flatbread.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Okay, that's
L'chaim.
Look,
yeah, L'chaim. Yeah, get it? Look.
And the
I heard
reason
No,
the
no,
why,
it's
black
Jewish
people. That's
cookbook. I mean, these are real words. Like I love,
yeah,
like it's kind of
these
like
are
it's
real
funny.
words.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: a lot of people didn't notice, and I realized it because I was studying. Don't tell. That's why I really can't give y'all my government name because I have infiltrated. Okay, I was
Uh-oh.
studying. I was studying with them, and the word Ra in Hebrew means evil. A lot of people don't know that. They completely inverted the meaning of Ra, the way it was
It's
meant. Go ahead, brother.
it's in Sheikh and the Jumps book,
Oh,
The
it is?
African
I haven't even
Origin
read the
of
book. Okay, maybe
Civilization.
I need to read it then. Like
He
instead of
breaks
trying to.
sister. It's in the Discord, and I got the audiobooks. See, come to me for the audiobooks, y'all, because I mean, if you want the real book, I think it's mad expensive. It's a big book. It's a 10-hour audiobook.
I have that
Um,
book. I still haven't read it yet, but I have it. I got it off Amazon. I don't think it was that expensive.
Y'all gotta get up in that book. It's a geopolitical telling of the story of Moses is in that book. A geopolitical telling. You understand? Geopolitical meaning archaeology, anthropology. They did the research to tell the migration patterns of people in and around that time, like before that time and around that time. So they like it's not just God starved us out and we decided to follow his path and move to the east. Like it's really on some, the Sahara Desert was drying out. Egypt was already a civilization. The Sahara Desert was drying out. And the brothers and sisters that was in the desert had to make a choice because they were suffering from drought and famine. So, all right, I'm gonna tell a quick story. I'm trying to tell this as fast as I can because I know y'all not gonna read this book. So, I'm gonna just give y'all a teaser. So, the Sahara Desert, we already know to this day it's still expanding. It's still drying out. So, like if you look at it from the 90s, even it's bigger now. So the Sahara Desert was drying out. It used to once be an oasis. There was trees and jungle and all that. The farmers that were there, the shepherds, some of them went south to sub-Sahara Africa. Sub-Sahara is a colonial word. It's a new word. It is a word that divides up Africa. Colonizers created that word, but I'm gonna use it for now. Sub-Saharan Africa, they went down south, and those are our ancestors. The rest of them went east, found the Nile River, saw that they could survive. Egypt was already there. Egypt said, you know what? You can come in. They didn't call themselves Egypt, they were Kemet. They said, you know what? Come on in. We will invite you in because we're giving people. We have matrilineal systems. We got plenty to share. They let in 70 farmers, 70 shepherds came in. They had practiced something in the Sahara Desert called Yahwism. Yahwism. They had multiple gods, but they were a patrilineal religion. And unlike Kemet, which was matrilineal, they were patrilineal and patriarchal. So that's why Judaism, Christianity, and Islam are all patriarchal. So they would not assimilate into the customs of Egyptian culture because they considered themselves different. They considered themselves the children of God. And so those 70 farmers, 70 shepherds and farmers became 400,000 by the time of Moses. So now Egypt has a little bit of a problem. Pharaoh knows there are 400,000 people here that don't worship our God, don't speak our language. They are a little bit of a vulnerability to the safety of Egypt, just like we are as Black people in America, because we refuse to assimilate. That's the problem. If we would all just be a little bit more like Candace Owens, we wouldn't have, well, we would still have problems, but we wouldn't have the same place in America. Like they're more willing to accept Candace Owens in certain situations. So they weren't willing to assimilate because they had their gods, they had their patriarchy. So the Pharaoh was like, you know what? I'm gonna make a god for everybody. So everyone has one god. The Yahwism people, they had multiple, spiritualities. They had multiple like deities that they had or whatever. But he was like one God for everybody. And that God will be, he mixed the old God and the new. He mixed Amun and Ra. He made Amun Ra. Amun Ra, the one God. The first monotheistic religion came from the ancient ancestors. So then Moses was born or whatever at a time when Pharaoh was like, all right, they not taking Amun Ra. They still practicing this other worship. They still patriarchal. I'ma have to unalive all the boys because they're a threat to my kingdom. Because the boys, you see what I'm saying? It's kind of like America. The men are the boys are a threat, countering the conspiracy to destroy black boys. Look it up. So, yeah. Anyway, the boys are a threat because the boys could be used to take over my kingdom. So guess what? I'm gonna delete all the boys. They started feeding them to crocodiles. Moses' mother puts him on the Nile. He floats upstream. Pharaoh's wife finds him. Moses, that whole thing happens. Moses unalives a man. He gets looked down on for that. He has this epiphany because he, as well, was black. Everyone I'm talking about was black, by the way. And so Moses thought he was Pharaoh's son for a while, and then he realized that his people was the people that he was helped persecute. And so then he gets upset. He takes the idea of the 42 laws of Ma'at and the idea of a monotheistic religion. He goes into the desert, learns more about Yahwism from the people that still lived in the desert, comes back and begins, trying to set his people free and all that other stuff. So the rest of the story you probably know, but the nuance behind it was that in early Judaism, there was a disdain for Africans. It started out with Moses, because Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. Nobody from Genesis wrote Genesis. There was no Adam and Eve writing a book down. So he came up with the first stories of what we now think of when we think of the beginning of the world. Was written by some man, like, what is that, like 6,000 years ago, I want to say, maybe 5. I'm not sure. Someone else can correct me on that.
Yeah, a little less than that, like 3,000.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's
I
okay.
might
I
mess
think it's
that
like
timeline up.
3,000 years ago. I think like 15.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Yeah, 1000 BC. Yeah, around there. So, yeah, so when that happens, right? He writes those books, and he writes down about the Hamites, and all the different types of people. And he had a disdain for the Hamites because those were supposedly the Kemetic people. So he says he writes down this curse of Canaan and the descendants and all this other stuff. It's another thing. It gets really deep, but
Even worse than that, brother. So the
yeah.
Talmud, the little hat people, they can't even say Moses did it. They did it. They literally demonized anybody who's the African male through that Hamite story.
And then
go ahead.
Yeah. And then Sheikh Jump debunks all of that and says that the Hamitic people, the Hamites, are actually an ethnic group, not a race. So there were black, there was some Asiatic, it was a mix of people. It wasn't just one race. So when they use that curse to justify our enslavement, they're associating our race to an ethnic group that we weren't solely a part of. So that's another thing. But yeah, it speaks to how Moses took his hatred for the system that kicked him out because he unalived the man and made it into a religion in order to help free his people. So.
In addition to that, the worshiping of the calf story, that was I didn't realize this until I was again studying amongst the little hat people incognito. That was their way of being, again, anti-Kemet, because they were still worshiping Oset. the
Mm-hmm.
Kemetic goddess that with
Mm-hmm.
the calf, the cow head, all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff is in reference to that. And then when they kept saying that they wanted to put, I think, like a snake on the pole or something like that, like they were trying to
Mm-hmm.
crucify the snake on the pole,
Mm.
them being against all the serpent history that Kemet has with
Mm-hmm.
consciousness and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the little hat people have effectively and very successfully demonized African spirituality. And when the sister was here that was talking about it, I wanted to come up when she was up because she had mentioned that there's a goddess named Ani. I think it's a West African goddess.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the interesting thing about Ani, and she referred to her as the great I am. Ani in Hebrew literally means I am. If I were going to introduce myself to someone, I would say Ani Yeye, Ani Defiance. And it's just I swear they steal everything, y'all. Like they don't have an original concept at all. Just like
Mm.
they're stealing, Israel right now or whatever. It's like it's literally if you're trying to figure out, who's the sophisticated, mind behind white supremacy, it's them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the little hat people, and I'm gonna leave it there before
I
it's
know.
too much.
Hey, y'all. Appreciate you, Kit Kat. Thank you for supporting the live goal. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I want y'all to look up The African Origin of Civilization by Sheikh Anta Diop. The way you spell his name is CH, I think it's EIKH. Am I right? You could put Dr. DIOP, like Dior with a P at the end. Yeah, there we go. No, it's answer with the A. It's the second one.
CHEIKHANTADIOP.
Yeah, Sheikh Anta Diop. Yo, I'm telling you, he could tell a story better than me. I just had to regurgitate it from my memory. I'm sure I left out many other things that kind of unlocked the truth behind that story. Like it'll resonate if you know the stories in the Bible. If you've seen even the movie Moses, what's it called, Prince of Egypt, that little cartoon. Like if you've seen that, then you want to watch, and then you want to listen or read Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop's book, The African Origin of Civilization. I'm telling you, that's what's going to do it. Like, and you don't have to go to the end of the book. I think it's mostly all in the first two chapters. If you want to just read the first two chapters of his book, I would encourage every African that's been a Christian at some point to read that book, at least the first two chapters.
Get a hard copy of it. I haven't read it, but from what you're telling me, the things that he discovered that I stumbled
Yeah.
upon just in practice is it's you can't put a price on that. And the reason why I say get a hard copy is because the little hat people, once they realize that it's gonna, it's catching on with the community, they're gonna start labeling it anti-synthetic. And so they're gonna start pulling the book, or they're gonna, buy all the publishing rights, and then before you know it, you can't even buy the book anymore. So
right.
get
And Hoodoo down in the comments, angry, you changed the name, angry ethnic. She makes a good point. Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop will have to be classified as a scientist. I'm not even sure if he's an anti-racist. He was a scientist, and he married a thin-lipped woman.
Oh my Jesus! Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm that's news to me, but
You didn't know
damn.
that?
I did not know that.
I'm dead serious. Like I
Yes.
saw, like, because I've been looking him up, but I never saw a single photo of him next to anybody that was that, or that could even be classified as that. So I'm like, hold
Look
up.
it up. Yeah, he
Uh,
did. And the thing about it, though, is that it doesn't matter for him because he was a scientist. He was an anthropologist that tested the melanin content of mummies to find that they had melanin similar to sub-Saharan Africans today, and also trace back archaeologically that what I told you earlier is really the key, is that the Sahara Desert was once a jungle that had eventually that dried out over time and displaced people and led people to moving further south in Africa, and was able to trace the lineage of West Africans to ancient Kemet through that same bloodline, because they both come from the same bloodline of people that were once in the Sahara that had spread out. And
I know that National Geographic, well, it might not have been National Geographic, but I do know that there's actually an event that happens every 23,000 years where the Sahara Desert turned to like a green, lush wetland. And like right now, we are smack dab in the middle of that, like 23,000. So it's going to be a long, long time before it comes back, but it's going to come back.
Wow.
I even did a video about it too. Like, it's because of the mismanagement of resources and the destruction of the ozone layer and the disruption of what's going on with the planet today with the powers that be. It's going to take longer for it to come back because they're just, they're destroying nature with the way they're managing it. So it's
also very un-African.
Exactly.
Destroying nature. You would be surprised how African leaders, as corrupt as they want to be, still speak frequently about green initiatives to restore the planet. It's very African to make sure that the earth is good.
They still have that plan to plant trees all along the barrier of the Sahara, like to
right. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to comment on the book thing because I've noticed over the last few years that, and I actually made a Facebook status about this like 2 days ago, that the blackest of books are either unavailable to buy or they are disproportionately expensive. And I just find that so suspicious, like so suspicious. But
Little
I
hat
see.
people.
What'd you say?
I said it's always gonna be the little hat people. That's just
It's just so suspicious. Like you can't find these books nowhere. But I see what you were talking about with the thick version, because I guess I have the thin version, but I don't know what the difference is. But the hardcover on Amazon of that book is $280, and the smaller one is $13.99. That's the one that I have.
That book is compiled with a firsthand. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, but firsthand sources. Like that's a research. I don't know. He did his own research. He published his own research in that book. Like that's all firsthand. Like
okay.
Yeah. So it's from the ground up. Like Dr. Sheikh Najub, even Dr. Umar says he's the most important anthropologist in history, because he really basically debunked a lot of Eurocentric anthropologists and Egyptologists, and he did it in a scientific way in which even when you look him up, they will call him controversial, but they will never say he was wrong because they can't prove it. He has the hard evidence, can't deny what he said. Except you can't hang on his every word. He was a Muslim and a swirler, so be careful. He does say that Islam is, he is the way. Basically, he says that it's not something that has been harmful to Africans. Many Africans will disagree with that. So, yeah.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Is are interracial relationships like the comedian in Address, is that what's going on like for the activists? It seems like all these activists have done really great work, and in order to, I guess, not piss off massa, too bad, or whatever's going on, they are allying themselves in these interracial situations, and it just feels very ritualistic at this point.
Yeah.
Almost in a way to kind of discredit everything that they've done. So, so that if we look at the Black comedian, how they, like Dave Chappelle, for example, a lot of the things that he says, and you can agree with me or not, are controversial. And same with Richard Pryor. They were basically speaking about things that were literally happening in the Black community at that time, and using jokes as a way to kind of get away with things that most people can't say publicly. And then they ended up, well, neither one of them, thank God, were put in a dress, but they did have these interracial marriages too, where it just seems like a ritual that anybody who is, speaking up for Black folks, or, making truthful observations about what white people are doing towards Black people, it seems like they are ritualistically having to get themselves a non-white partner. A non-Black partner. And I don't know if that's something that anybody else has noticed. And I'm just wondering if it's
So
just
they not pro-Black. That's what it is. They're not pro-Black. They just no entertainer in America is pro-Black. Not one of them.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and Shaking the Jub, he wasn't pro-Black. He was just telling Africa's side of the story when it came to science. And then if you want to know who to follow when it comes to pro-Blackness, like Khalid Abdul Muhammad, he's a good one. Brothers like Dr. Ben Yosef Yakinan, what he was doing in his personal life was pro-Black, but his message itself, once again, he was a historian. So, sometimes, a lot of what they doing, it will align in their personal life, and that's cool. That means that is a pro-Black person doing a historian's work, through an Afrocentric lens. But pro-Blackness itself is prioritizing one's actions and values with what's in the best interest of building within the Black community. And not all of them are called to build with us, but they do have some value in in what they do when they speak for our community. But Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Marcus Garvey, I'm just trying to think of some off the top. Dr. Chancellor Williams, definitely John Henry Clark. These are people that Dr. Amos Wilson. These are people that are pro-Black. Like, they're teaching how to build with us. Not just, because if you just look at history objectively, you're going to come to the same conclusions as Dr. Sheikh and Dajub. It's just he had to do it because he's an African who can look at us as human. Everyone else thought we were slaves in ancient Egypt, and he was like, no, we were the kings. And all all you gotta do is just be honest. So that'll make them pro-Black though.
This is important to do though, because I don't know about nobody else, but and maybe this is like my STEM mindset, but it's like really important to like pressure test, like, I don't want to call it a theory, but like an ideology, especially when you're having conversations with people who are outside of that ideology, or at least want to attach themselves to that ideology. Because even just reflecting on like the lives that you and Kron and Liberian, all these people do, you're getting these people in who are challenging like your thought processes, whether they're scholarly or not. And so you have to go through this process of pressure testing, like how solid is this ideology, and what no matter what names I throw at you, like what can you spit back about, is it yes or no, and why? And even when they are people that you might that you gain something from, like a Sheikh and deal, like they have their place, they have their role,
Right.
but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're pro-Black. Like it's just so important to like stress test those things, so that
Martin Luther King wasn't pro-Black.
exactly. And
You
I'm
know what I'm
sure
saying?
if you said that in a different room, it would be like
Yeah. Nelson
it
Mandela
would be
wasn't
like earth
pro-Black.
shattering.
Nelson Mandela was married to a black woman. They divorced. I gotta look more into their story. I know Winnie Mandela went on to become the true revolutionary that Nelson could have became, but I just don't know how the split went, how that took place. But
All right.
It's the movie.
The way
I
the
didn't see the movie. See, I didn't see the movie.
the way the South Africans tell it is that he pretty much got like co-opted by the state. So he
Yeah,
was kind of like doing things that was, you know, incongruent to like the movement or whatever. And they had an ideological split, him and Winnie. And then, but like, I guess people outside of that dynamic aren't aware of that because they used him as the poster child, you know, of that movement and a certain ideology. So he became, you know, the face of something that he didn't authentically represent.
Yeah,
damn.
even in the movie they showed her as almost like being the unrational and unreasonable one.
Yep.
When he was the one that was like, I
Bending.
have forgiven them. If I can forgive them, then we can move forward. And it's like it was weird the way that they were trying to like it made no sense. I'm like, bro, so you went from doing all that revolutionary stuff that you were doing at the beginning, you were imprisoned, and they basically broke your will, and then that's when they let you out. But your wife was
Wow.
still trying to maintain that will, but you went ahead and you decided, yeah, I'm just going to go along with them. That's why they allowed him to be president in the first place, because he was going along with some of their plans. Like,
That's
yeah.
crazy. So, thank you for the suggestion. Me and my wife gonna watch the Nelson Mandela. We be watching movies together.
Dang,
So yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. We're gonna watch that.
I can't see the comments. What was the
Yeah, that was a great accent though,
Yeah, I wanted
Timothy.
to hear
That
the
was
good
good.
I
accent.
have forgiven them. I'm just keep hearing it in my
Uh-huh.
like I love that. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
No, really
You
weak
graced us
I
though.
with
can't,
that.
I can't
She
help it. It's
came
like
off like a
anytime that a
soldier.
movie, yeah, anytime a movie character pops up, I automatically get into character. Like I'm a movie buff, so that's automatically what I do, and I do it like without even realizing. So it's just, yeah, my
Mhm.
bad.
Fred Hampton,
yes
Malcolm
I
X.
know.
Those two are pro-black. I had to. I don't know how I went without mentioning them. Appreciate you, Stella.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know how I went without mentioning them
Who'd you
For
because
say?
religion.
Who'd you say, brother?
I said Malcolm and Fred Hampton.
Oh yes, brother
Yeah,
Malcolm. Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But is
always.
Fred
Yeah,
Hampton more so? Is he the one with the Rainbow Coalition, right? That's a little
yeah.
more
Hmm.
anti-racist, though. How's that?
No, Rainbow Coalition. Yeah, he did all of that. But what he was doing to organize the community was pro-black in itself. Yeah, he did fight against racism and all that other stuff, but the 10-point what is it,
I forget.
Yeah, the
the 7,
10-point
is it
program.
7 or 10 points? 10-point, right?
Yeah, 10-point.
Was that him or Huey? That was him, right?
Well, I
I was
think that was
I was
Huey
about to
at
say that,
first.
yeah. Were you gonna
Oh,
say
I
Yeah,
think
it
it
Huey
was
was
P.
Huey.
Newton?
Huey.
I was gonna say him, but
Who did Free
guys.
Mhm.
Breakfast though? That was him, right?
That was
Oh
him.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so free breakfast for black people. And then if you just listen to his speeches, the brother was pro-black. He
Okay.
was pro-black. He didn't just speak against racism. He was trying to get us together at a time when it wasn't us going out the community. You know what I'm saying? Like it was us being able to be together in our community, uninterrupted. You know, it wasn't popular for brothers to be swimming in the milk, backstroking. So, you know,
Wait, why did you say it like
So
I'm
that?
just saying.
Hold on, because
Stokely
that's a
Carmichael.
double entendre. Oh,
Stokely Carmichael. Stokely Carmichael. He's pro-black. Um, even though he couldn't keep a sister, but he did marry Miriam Makeba. Um, y'all know who Stokely Carmichael is. I mean, you could see that's the thing. Pro-black people do anti-racist things too, but they don't stop. Oh, Asada Shakur all day.
Mm-hmm.
Asada Shakur all day,
Continue.
but and Mutulu Shakur as well. But um, Stokely Carmichael, the Civil Rights Act is actually named. Oh no, the Voting Rights Act is named after him. People don't know that. The Voting Rights Act is named after the man that coined the phrase Black Power. And then he changed his name and went to really try to get us that Black Power. Like he didn't care. He didn't like they put his name on the act. Like he could have kept his name, and kept that clout from having your name on a constitutional. It's on the Constitution forever. Like it's his name. Except he was like, nah, I'm Kwame Ture. I'm doing this for more than just getting us the right to vote in a white man's world. Like he really, Kwame Ture is about that life.
Wait, but brother, that could have been his transition, because when we had brother up here who was from Zimbabwe, and he said that they all go through a transition where they change their names, and it's the true representation, and they set the standard and the boundary to be addressed by them. So that could have been his transition. We all go through it. Like, hey, how I feel about it. Like, hey, even though because they think my name is KK, but I'm like, yeah, it got an exclamation point on the front for a reason though too. Like, but a lot of people ain't gonna pronounce it like that. Like this song, like that's way too. But like just the transition, and then it's like trying to get people to understand that, when you want to change your name. And it's like some people just it's just but still they don't respect you like how they should, They'll be like, oh no, you had this name, I gave it to you, just hanging on to that patriarchy and also YT supremacy and ideological thinking. Like it's just but that could have been his transition. That's why he said, nah, you know what, this is what it is. Like
yeah,
that was a real move.
I'm not gonna be Brother Legend forever. Brother Legend is my Malcolm X. Soon I'm gonna be my version of El Haj Malik El Shabazz, but that's another thing that kind of was Malcolm. All right,
don't take it there.
For a time, Malcolm was more pro-black Muslim. Like the Nation of Islam is not a pro-black organization; they're a pro-black Muslim organization. So that's their problem. The Muslim thing is a problem too, y'all. Just like the church, it's still a problem. It's just less of a problem. Even John Henry Clark says he'd prefer it if we were to go the Abrahamic route to be Muslim, because our ancestors, a lot of them were introduced to Islam not just through slavery, but through trade. And it was still trade to colonize their land and resources. And it's still, any religion that tells you have to take a pilgrimage out of Africa is problematic. That's not an African religion. But they took Islam and made it matrilineal, believe it or not. They flipped it on its head. It was patriarchal and patrilineal. They turned it into matrilineal in West Africa. So they practice a kind of different form of Islam, just like we did in America with Christianity, where it was intended to keep us as slaves, and then we kind of turned it into shouting and hooting and hollering and playing our version of their music. And that's the most African thing you can do. Like if an African plays jazz on a saxophone made by a European, a drum made by a European, a trumpet made by a European, is it not African music? It is. That's what makes us us, is that we take things that our oppressor gives us and we put an African spin on it.
You just did that with the measurements of that shower in that book. Hey, because I guarantee we weren't reading per se the same type of book, right? But hey, you converting it. Look,
I'm gonna finish this book in 22 showers. Like what?
I love that. I love that. I love that. That is the most, like you said, African thing we can do.
Like, and how did the form of shower measurement begin? Like, well, it was a long time ago. A man by the name of Brother Legend.
It's funny that we be telling them to get in the tub, but then like we spend so long in the tub or the shower that we have to have entertainment for the shower experience.
You're
like
right.
It's not just a shower, it's an experience. Like I can't get in the shower without music or like listening to a chat or something else unless I gotta be somewhere in the next like 10 minutes. And like, but otherwise, like no, it's gonna be a concert, it's gonna be choreography, it's gonna be like some deep thoughts, it's gonna be planning, it's gonna be something. It's not just a shower.
A whole
So
routine, everything.
But even the even the people in Africa, like the Himba women that are like the red people of Africa, even
yeah,
they don't like. Don't get me wrong, because they don't bathe, in the
with
same
mud.
way. Yeah, they use mud, and then they have like a smoke shower, and I put that in parentheses because shower is like not the same because they use this certain element in the dirt and stuff to burn and
Mm-hmm.
with things they use, and then they put their clothes over it, but it's still an experience because they go into a
Pleasure.
hut and they sit there and they're like, actually the things that they're burning, like they sit there and be like, they'll inhale it and it's like an experience too. And I'm like, and they don't even like bathe in the same way, but their skin is so clear, it's so
Mm-hmm.
refreshed, their hair is so long and healthy. And I'm like, it's kind of crazy. I'm like, it's
Mm-hmm.
called okra, not the okra you eat like fried, but the chemical they use is okra, and they put that in their hair.
Mm.
And I'm like, man, that's like amazing. Even then, we could figure out how to, have an experience with our bath and showers, even when we don't do the same thing. So how are y'all, wiping with a pebble? I don't get that. Like,
Yeah.
I would
And
never let the Romans
A
get over
pebble
that.
like
with
the
their
only
bare
reason why
hands.
they even developed that method of like bathing that way is because of the area in which they were in, essentially, at least based off of European sources, is that like the proximity to water is pretty scarce. So
Mm.
it's not like, hey, we're just out here bathing this way by choice, even though it is still very healthy for them to bathe that way. It still is only their proximity, not having proximity to extreme bodies of water, that
Mm-hmm.
has caused them to create new, still healthy methods of bathing. And
Mm.
yeah,
That's that's why in that room yesterday when D asked that little dirty boy when the last time he bathed was, and he gonna say 2 days ago. And I was like, the funny thing is, even for African people who don't live in a place where there is like reliable water, where there is like regular water, we still find a way to bathe. When you don't have a full bathroom, you still find a pot or a pan to bathe. And you
Mm-hmm.
telling me you live in a first world nation with all the access to all the water, to all the showers you want, and your dirty self don't bathe for a whole 2 days?
Nah,
Mm-hmm.
look, they
listen,
try to
that's
call
their
them hoe baths. They demean
So
us. Just
nothing.
like hoe cakes.
So
They
bad.
demean us. That's just sugar and flour. They demean us. No, you taking a hoe bath, you hussy. I'm
the
like,
act of
girl,
them
y'all
not
need to take
He
something.
confidently said, "Oh," she was like, "When the last time you took a shower?" And he said 2 days ago, which really mean it was probably more like 3 or 4 with them dirty self.
No, the act of them not bathing is literally a deep cultural thing. Like that's actually something that I'm not sure if anybody's. I mentioned this before on a couple lives, but I'm not sure if anybody's seen the movie Bounty with Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins. It's like a older, like '90s, I think, kind of movie. And one of the reasons why the uprising, or at least the mutiny on the Bounty, even happened in the first place, is because the captain was requiring the crew to bathe often, and the crew didn't like that. So that's one of the reasons
Mm-hmm.
why they actually fought back. Like that was a whole they staged a whole mutiny because they had to bathe regularly. Like that's insane to me. And
But
when
it
you look deeper into their culture, like you actually there's reports that are coming out now where they've done surveys and studies, and apparently the least likely demographic to bathe and to wash their own hands are white people.
Wash
Like
their
yeah.
hands.
yes, that's a whole thing. They are the least likely. That's why so many of them were dropping like flies during COVID, because and that's why it was spreading so fast because that's just not a part of their cultural norm to keep themselves clean, which is like that's insane to me. Like
Yeah.
that's literally a deep cultural thing that dates back
Do
thousands of years
not
ago.
shake their hands.
Yeah,
I
you're
Do
gonna
not
be
mean,
like
shake their
Martin
hands.
Lawrence in that movie. What is it, Blue Streak? And he seen dude in the air vent. He was like, ugh, because he touched his junk, right?
I thought
And
you
he
meant
put
when
that
his face
cream
was
on.
all lumpy.
No,
oh,
no, in Blue Streak, he delivered that pizza to try to get his diamond back because he was in prison because his friend ratted on him. And yes, he was a white T man. Tell me, like you said, movie buffs. Look, I'm with you. I'm with you,
I
Timothy.
remember
But
Blue Street.
man, no, I was gonna
Yeah.
say like, it took them, Timothy. It took them several centuries to kind of make the connection that hey, you need certain levels of vitamins when you're out at sea for days on end. Like y'all
Listen,
got the
like
scurvy. Like it took
for
you
real.
that orientation, and they didn't connect it that hey, the people that actually had money could afford fresh fruit on their boats, and they were healthy, right?
The
But y'all out
reason
here with none of that and dying. Like
the
unalive. Come
reasons
on.
why so many indigenous people groups have been unalive due to disease is because of the Europeans' lack and refusal to bathe. And it's almost like Europe has been like a petri dish for centuries, for maybe even thousands of years, I would say. It's been a petri dish of that. So when you have every other indigenous people group that's out here like, all right, cleaning ourselves, making sure that we have our regular rituals, all of a sudden you get a people group that's just like, yeah, we don't really need to do all that. And they've developed an immunity to all of that stuff over the thousands of years of them not cleaning. Then all of a sudden they transition that to around people groups that have never had to develop that immunity because they've always kept themselves clean. Like
Even
these
with
are, like it goes deep.
Yeah, I would say even with the plague, like people that own cats were
Hmm.
seen to be healthier, but they claimed that they were witches
Hmm.
because owning the cat, especially of a certain orientation looking cat, made you like seem like a threat. Like, why do you own a cat? They still kind of outcast the creature. I don't know, weird time, right? But those people were actually safe because the fleas were carried by, the mice and everything, the rats. Mice is nice, but I mean, even that, it's like, why does it take y'all so long to make these connections? Like, and I'm even here to wager, they'd be like, oh, they wear shorts like year round to be like, they're not cold. Like,
Oh
there is a
yeah.
connection between that, really, because when you have exposure to elements, no matter what they are, the mildness or whatever, your body is still exposed to more germs, more interactions to skin contact of various surfaces. So there's a connection between having that and not getting as sick or getting everybody else sick, because that's so true. And they do that all the time. Like I can't
Yep.
remember in school when there were people that were just like that. All they wore was the same sets of clothes. And don't get me wrong, like, they were pretty middle income class people and they just wore the same thing. I just
Hmm.
be like, okay, you're not cold? Like, no, I'm good.
No,
Like,
like,
okay.
see, their people groups have developed for thousands of years during the Ice Age. Like, we got to remember that Europe was covered in ice for thousands of years, while Africa we were doing our thing. We were just jamming, thriving, monitoring the stars, having a great old time, growing foods, picking foods off the tree. Like, it was fine in Africa. But if you look up at the northern parts of like the world, well, northern in today's standards, parts of the world near where Europe was, that whole area was just covered in ice. That's why you see so many people of European ancestry that ended up having to develop these types of cultural norms where they feel more comfortable in caves, or like they'll have to, like, there was scarcity back then too. And there's evidence that clearly shows that people groups that were forcibly put into the caves because of the climate outside, they did engage in cannibalism. Like, I would say that
Hmm.
personally, people of European ancestry have the longest reigning history of cannibalism ever. I would say that. I still have to research that in depth, so
Yeah,
don't
no,
quote
no,
me
that's
on
true.
anything. But
I looked
uh,
that
Of
up
course.
too. Going back
mhm.
100,000 years, the oldest human bones found in the skeleton stomach area are on the European continent, and they practiced it up till the 1800s, the late 1800s, 1890s, I think. In Portugal, you could still buy human meat in the
uh,
black market. But also, I was
Your mic,
yep,
bro.
Oh,
your mic
yeah,
is.
I think it can't. Oh, it must have went dead.
Am I the only one who can't see the comments?
It, oh, wait, no, I can see him. T.
Yeah.
in my Western Civ class in college. I learned that there was a monk. No, was it Western Civ? It might have been comparative politics. But anyway, we learned that a monk in the Dark Ages actually wrote that it was sinful to take a bath every day because warm water dries out the skin like sin.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sinful.
Yeah, sin. Yeah.
Well, I was about to say, we know that because, Mongolian people never really showered. They love to be dirty. They thought that a lot of the dirts kept the good oils in, so they didn't hardly ever take showers because they saw water as sacred. So if you took a shower, you could be unalived or any water because you're disgracing. Like drinking the water or washing your hands, like that was only done in certain periods as a religious and spiritual type of celebration. So if you were known to be taking a bath, like no, ma'am, straight to the. I was about to say too. That's just like the people you were saying they're messed up. Like they practice cannibalism. Like even thinking the delectable Negro, and then also as well as thinking this is from a people who the last time they used the guillotine was I think in France in like the 80s or 70s. That was the last time they had the
Really?
last
Wow.
Yeah.
unaliving publicly. Yeah,
Yeah, it
I'm
was
like it's
wasn't it
that
recorded?
recent.
Well,
Yeah,
it
it
was
was.
recorded.
It
Yeah,
was.
it was recorded, and they had like a whole, like literally the whole city came out to see it. Like it was like a whole thing.
Crazy.
That's
Yeah.
pretty recent.
Crazy. You know what's crazy about the guillotine, to me, is that they say for 2 or 3 seconds, up to 10 for some people, you can still see what's going on. So, in France, they take your head and they show it around. Um, there's been people that said, well, doctors or whatever that said that was true. I don't ever hope to find out, but it is wild to think about that you would be able to still see for a few seconds as your head
Yeah,
is
because
moving.
the blood flow and the oxygen is still technically it's still there for a couple more seconds. You're still alive while
Yeah.
you're like that,
I
and then
mean, right.
eventually, yeah, and then
And they're a
eventually once.
jerk. They're gonna call your name, so you try to look over there. What kind of like? What
No,
kind of
no.
ass hat?
What blows my mind is that, yeah, like, because without blood flow and oxygen to the brain, can't you live for like 2 or 3 minutes? Am I tripping? I think
I
if you're
mean,
suffocated, you can still live.
I
Like
mean,
like
they
after.
technically say
suffocation,
that you
like
can still hear. They say after you're declared dead that you could still hear up for a certain time, depending on the brain activity. But it depends, like you said, because like they say that when they announce some people dead, you can literally still hear them announcing you,
The last voice I want to
unalive.
hear is my wife's
Yeah.
voice.
Well, just say, hey, she know the drill. You gotta tell her before, and y'all know the
You better
drill. Like,
sing. You better
look,
be
no,
singing.
you better
You
sing.
better sing. You better sing. And
No.
I'm a
What she gonna sing? That song from Life, the Upper Room. Where you going? What you gonna sing you? That's a specific song. I'm saying, which one we picking?
nah. You better sing.
Look, which song?
I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Actually, I know what song. She gotta sing Music Soul Child. You gotta
Okay.
sing what's that song we like? Not Love, the other one. As long as your love don't change. What's that song? Yeah.
Hey, Mrs.
I love when your hair turns gray.
That's the song I was thinking about.
Not you rehearsing. Look, no.
It's gotta be, it's always be just as long as your love don't change. I can't sing, but yo, Music Soul Child, yo, shout out to the Music Soul Child fans. Listen to you, some Music Soul Child, some India RE. Get these colonizer tunes up out your head, man. India RE, man. Yeah, man. Like
He
who?
like a thin Lopian.
Who?
Kim.
Kim? Who Kim?
Kim.
Oh, you mean
Um,
Kim, KYM?
no, KEM.
Oh, Kim. Oh,
Dark
yeah,
skinned brother.
KEM. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I heard about
Yeah, he
him.
looked like he looked like he loved thin Lipians, but his music is fire
Yeah.
though.
Oh,
I'm just
okay,
trying to
yeah.
go out to some ski when you see me.
I
I'm trying
can't.
to. No, I'm
I
just playing. I'm
definitely
just
can't.
playing. Look. Hey, but you know the reality of what most people hear is a colonizer tune. Amazing Grace, and he
Uh-uh.
dead. Look,
You better not sing that
hold
You
on.
better
You know
not.
that's what most people hear, though,
Mm,
right? I have heard that. How many times do you hear that song when people really
I
bust out like,
refuse.
"Hey,
No,
That
but y'all better.
they don't even know all the stanzas. They
they
only know that
don't."
first part.
I'd
Mm,
rather be dropped off a cliff during a service than have to sit in the like. Nah,
mm-mm.
just drop me
Mm-mm.
off the ledge. Just throw me over the. Like
Mm-mm.
that is it.
Ordinary Pain and what's that other song by Stevie Wonder, Jess? That it sound like as Ordinary Pain. Y'all gotta get some Stevie Wonder in your playlist. You know what I'm saying? Like, get some songs in the key of life, man. Go to songs in the key of life. That's the best R&B album to ever exist. Best R&B soul, R&B soul. All right, soul by itself. Otis Redding. I'm sorry, not Otis Redding. Yeah, Otis Redding. I get Otis Redding and Curtis Mayfield. No, I'm sorry, Curtis Mayfield, not Otis Redding. Otis Redding is cool, but he's cool if you want some like old school vibes. Curtis Mayfield is a little bit more pro-black with it. You know what I'm saying? He's singing about sisters in his song. The makings of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm an old school type dude. Like when I need to decompress, I'm listening to these jams. If you want to get some jazz, I don't know how many of y'all listen to jazz. John Coltrane is my go-to. Grover Washington Grover Washington gets a little Cosby-ish with the jazz. You know what I'm saying?
Miles
But
Davis.
the reason jazz is good is because it comes from us. It comes from our souls. Thelonious Monk is another one. But the good thing about jazz is that it has no words, and so it's not like putting like a direct message into your subconscious. Like, you can sit there and kind of still be able to have your own thoughts while vibing to the music. That's what I like about jazz. You can have your own thoughts. You're not having someone else's thoughts over your thoughts while you're trying to think. Like, you can still just vibe in the essence of the jazz. I like that.
I take back what I said. I think now I want whatever my last song is to be that new 2023 Andre 3000. I just want them to sing that that flute.
2023.
Yeah, I want them to sing the flute.
Oh, that flute.
Yeah, sing me the flute on my day out.
K service.
Yeah, look.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else is fire. Dang. Who else is fire? Who else should be on a Pan-African playlist?
Dr. Umar. He should just be I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
I got a problem with Dr. Umar, man. Like,
he should just be saying catchphrases. That's all. Don't you find that suspicious? He should just be repeating catchphrases.
No, I met him in person before a while. Like, he came to my area and everything, and I went there, listened to him speak, met him in person.
Don't forget, I'm a huge supporter of what he's doing.
Yeah,
only in
absolutely.
small areas do I disagree. It's 9.9. It's 99.8% agree, but certain areas,
I'm not an Umar fan, but I don't know if it would really be pro-black, but I just kind of feel like I'm thinking of like the vibe and the energy, maybe more so than like the message per se. But I feel like you can't have that without some Luther. Like, I need some Luther in the mix.
Luther.
Like, I need some Luther. Skinny Luther and fat Luther. I need both. Like,
I need fat Luther.
Definitely.
I need fat Luther. Yeah, definitely fat Luther. Marvin. Okay. Yeah.
You singing
Lauryn Hill all day.
Wait, wasn't he the one that was like, anytime in any place? Like, wasn't that his song? I'm trying to mark him. Yeah.
Oh,
because I remember a very specific song, but yeah.
Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire should be on the playlist. That's African spirituality. Even though they had that man up there wearing a diaper.
That.
Or am I thinking of Parliament?
Gerald?
Wasn't the guy that sang Reasons wearing a diaper? He wasn't wearing a diaper.
Yeah.
Reasons is messed up. People was getting married to that song, and that song ain't got nothing to do with marriage. But yeah. All right, yeah, that was Parliament. I think that was Parliament. G-Funk, the Funkadelics, all of them, like they're really cool. I like it. I like that whole swag. It's just that's very West Coast, but I like it.
Wait, so do you like the Delphonics then?
I'm trying to remember because
they have that really
playlist.
I mean,
on my funk playlist, I don't have them separated. Like, I just got some of them.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering if you knew them. I mean, I know
I
they're
know
kind of
who
prominent.
they are. I know
Yeah,
who
did
they
you?
are. I just don't know a song right off the top of my head.
Oh, Blow Your Mind. Didn't I blow your mind this
Oh,
time?
okay.
Didn't
Yeah,
I? You
yeah,
know.
yeah. They cool. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of their messages though.
I mean, it's kind of only like they didn't really have too many. They had a couple, but it was more like just a rhythm and a pattern of whatever the beat was. Seemed like in every song I can remember, because they only
Like
keep
I love
saying the
the
same
Isley
thing.
Brothers. I love
Oh,
the
okay, yeah,
Isley Brothers, but I can't say
yeah,
they belong on a Pan African playlist
yeah.
because Ron Isley was close with R. Kelly.
Oh yeah, no.
So
Well, I'm about to say I don't think the Delphonics was. They didn't have too many hits like that. Like their
yeah.
biggest breakout was more like from Jackie Brown the movie, and I'm not saying that to diss them, but I love them. But like that's the number one that people know that I just listed you. So like nobody knows any other ones for real.
Oh yeah, the OJs are cool too. You know, this is music I would listen to, but do they belong on a Pan African?
I
I
mean, I think
guess the
so, cause
OJs.
they. Oh well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say
Nah,
what.
they sing about money. Money,
Well,
money, money.
I mean, but I think the Delphonics they used to reminisce too, like on when
Mm.
stuff used to be costing cheap. Like they have another song that's like, I remember when it used to cost a dime. Shoe shoe shine used to cost a dime. Like I'm for real. That's all you know.
Yeah.
And they just repeat that because it's. I mean, that's true. It's just
Mm-hmm.
you know. So I'm like,
James
I'm like,
Brown. James Brown belongs on the Pan African playlist.
I think I would put some Uncle Bob on mine.
Bob Marley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
of my
Bob Marley.
militant
Some
up in
roots
here.
reggae. Some roots reggae artists.
Yeah, definitely Bob Marley.
What
For
about
sure.
Shabba Ranks? You can't put him on there, huh? He be talking crazy about women. And then he got that one song that got him canceled. I know the LGBT brothers and sisters ain't liking that.
You gotta stick to reggae, no dancehall.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or it'd be very, very little dancehall.
Yeah. Damien can't make it, can he? Damien can't do it. Damien can't be on.
I don't really know many of the son's music like that, except for maybe Damien. That's the one I probably know the most of.
Yeah, but Damien, he got a thin lipian.
I don't know. Felt a lot of that blackness in that family line.
Yeah, I better say I can. It's you know what's funny? We would have a way easier time to list the people who are anti-black and not working to any bigger platform. Like I can name a few, be like Lionel Richie, Babyface, Tiger Woods. We can go to every category. Where we want to go?
Right.
Like
What Babyface do?
Well, I mean, some of the things he does are a little questionable, and I feel him, but you know, I can't judge him there. But it's not as out the way as some of the other people I just listed. Like, it just, it's kind of like a Shannon Sharp situation or a Terrell Owens. Like they say stuff right, and it's very like anti-black. I wouldn't, you know, it's like I don't know, it's very strange. You know
Yeah.
what the stuff, some things they say it's like red pill and it's like the narrative of patriarchy, and I'm just not a little bit for that.
What's Burna Boy's is it his father and his grandfather? What's some of y'all in the comments might know the African brothers and sisters, Burna Boy's family.
Yeah, they real oh, why I can't think of this man's name right now.
They
That
created
was his
that whole
godfather.
Afrobeat
It was his
vibe.
godfather. Oh my God, why I cannot think of this man's name right now.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said patriarchy is not pro-black. Absolutely.
Fela Kuti.
Who?
Fela Kuti. I think
That's
that's
his
his
name?
godfather. I don't know if that's who you were talking about, but
It might
he's
be.
like a pioneer of
He's the pioneer. Yeah, he the GOAT.
That's Fela Kuti.
Yeah. They played the saxophone, right?
I am not sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he was a they have stolen Burna Boy from Africa. They sure did.
But I think that's his godfather. If it's not his godfather, either way, he's very connected to him somehow.
How y'all felt about when Burna Boy did that concert in the UK? He came out and his pants looked like a dress. How y'all feel about that?
I didn't actually see it, but just the act of forcing black men to be in dresses, and then black men willingly getting into the. It's just a tactic of emasculization. Like that's.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, it
Was
was
it
a
like a
nice
woman's
performance.
dress, or
They
was
got
it
him. They
like the?
do got him right. I'm not tripping, right? They got him. Okay. You from? I think I be forgetting if he's from Ghana or Nigeria. But yeah, they got him. He must be from
Was it?
Nigeria.
Was it a woman's dress or like the long shirt thing?
Oh,
Like
he from Kenya. I don't know why.
remember?
My bad, bro. Yo, that's horrible.
Encouraging him, like, oh man, it would be so funny if you just dress like a woman for this scene. It'll be so.
Me to do it, and eventually he did it. And after he took that dress off, he cried for several days. And his father said, "Don't you ever make my son ever do that ever again. You know, he's
He
never
did
doing
though.
it."
He did
Yeah,
in later episodes. Like I was mad as like when I heard him say all of that is the experience that he had, and he still was
sad,
okay with
right?
doing it in later episodes. I'm like,
What makes
what?
you think the brainwashing, the indoctrination?
For
They
exactly,
break you once, they can break you again, baby. Like
Yeah.
exactly.
I
that's
mean,
game.
once you know what the crowd you see, that's the thing. Entertainers trying to please the crowd. It's just the crowd is anti-black. So sometimes they're not aware that what they're doing to please the crowd is going to turn them into a caricature. I've seen it in the music industry. Because I'll tell you right now, all them songs is cap. Like all them songs, and I don't know. I first realized it when I was listening to 50 Cent growing up. Like he's talking about, "I'll wet your shirt." You remember he like, "I'll, you know, you know, wet you up." Like talking about he doing this, doing that, click clack. I'll do this, and I was like, "This is 50 Cent we're talking about." Like he's working with Dr. Dre and Eminem. If he was doing this in the streets, like he would be in jail. Like it don't make sense, and it's because he's doing what they want to see him do. Someone that looks like him do, and then he called himself Gorilla Unit. That was a whole thing too. I didn't like. And then I saw, I don't know if y'all know who Casanova is, He did like the same thing. Like the name of his gang was like Gorilla Stone. Like, you know, it's like a whole thing where they kind of want y'all to be that. You know, it's a shame.
They literally made colorful pew pew proof vests a whole thing during that time period. I remember that.
Right.
I remember there were
Yeah.
some brothers I saw walking around with that crap, and I'm like, bro, this ain't the wave, man. Like this just ain't
At
it.
all. At all. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, I'm glad, you know, it I mean, I guess I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. When you want to know, when you want to learn more about hip hop, I would refer everyone to KRS-One, because KRS-One says what we got now is not hip hop. They call it hip hop, but the culture has been taken out of it. So he said hip hop. There's 5 pillars of hip hop. He said MCing, breakdancing, graffiti, DJing, and
Yeah.
there's one more I'm missing. But breakdancing, I forgot the last one. Someone might know. But he mentioned the 5 tenets of hip hop. And he said, oh, storytelling. Is that it? Maybe. That might be it. I'm not sure. But he said none
It's
of these 5 tenets.
DJing, breakdance, graffiti, and knowledge.
Knowledge, okay. All right. So none someone said fashion. Are you sure it's knowledge?
That's what the Harlem Gallery of Science says.
Oh, okay. All right. So that being the case, what I'm trying to say is none of that describes the music we have today that we call hip hop. He said that's rap. That's not hip hop. Because he said MCing, so not rapping, like specifically. So
Could you
that was
imagine if we
interesting.
tried to do that right now? Like we do, because technically, I think we still do the same things, but somebody, of course, is going to argue semantics with me. But battle rap would still,
Mm,
to me, is seen as a form of MCing, but it only caters to a niche group of people, you know?
mhm.
Because it's like spoken word poetry with rhythm. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it is, but it's like it's still been gentrified. Like, it really has. Like, I can't think of how many Krispy Kremes I've seen in the battle rap scenes. Like,
Yeah.
bruh, like it's
Mom
really
spaghetti.
and it's crazy because they try to call out their opponent's racism to get themselves credit. Like I heard one person say that. He was like, "This man battle raps, but he don't even know hip hop and rap, you know. He'll say the best person in rap is Eminem." So that's why I'm like, "What? Like what is like y'all cooking each other cornbread? Like what's going on?" I be trying to understand. I'm like, everything we have
Really
has to
do be
get
studying.
gentrified. Like,
They really do be studying every single album that comes out, every single like lyric. I can't even tell. Literally one of the most lyrical, like a person that could recall the song word for word, and it didn't matter what song we put on, it was every single song, was the only YT kid in an entirely predominantly black community that we all used to,
Yes.
like he was the main one. And everybody else was sitting there like, bro, you know this song like that well? Like he would from start to finish, every single song we put on, he'd automatically know the words. Like it,
Crazy.
yeah. Yeah, it's like
Yeah. No, same. I've seen the same thing here. They play some old 90s tune that I ain't never heard. And it's some deep cut from their part of the country that you like. When I was in LA, it'll be some white tea girl at the party coming up talking about she want to listen to some old Oakland music, like everybody black in there gonna know what she talking about. We're like, man, I'm from New Jersey. We don't know what you talking about right now.
but I forgot to say, this has bugged me so much. But I heard and I seen these videos, and it was Bridget Mendler, and they were calling her Bridget Badu because she had that one song, and it had a little, like they say it had soul, but to me, I'm like, she just changed her vibrato and reflection in dropping an octave when she sung. I said, how dare you come up on this internet and you try to compare the greatness of mediocrity to someone who is acclaimed. I was sick to my stomach when they called her Bridget Baidu, and I kept seeing videos, and it was black people dancing, and she just kept saying another night. She say that, and I'm like, bruh, that's y'all Bridget Baidu. That's y'all Bridget. Y'all need to stop inviting so many people to the cookout. I'm like, bruh, I don't even really like potato salad that much. Why do we have 3 servings now? Like, I don't, I just don't
That's how I feel about
understand.
Camila Cabello, and dang, who's that Persian girl that be singing R&B? Who the Persian girl that be singing R&B? And people don't know if she black or white. People don't know what she is. She play on it heavy too. And the
Wait, which one?
sisters love her.
Ariana Grande? Hold on, wait.
Nah, not
I'm about to say she
Ariana.
be acting like she
She be
done went
singing
through all of them.
R&B. She be singing R&B, but she Persian, and nobody know.
Kalani.
Nah,
Kalani?
nah,
I think isn't she Persian though?
not Rita Ora.
What are you talking about? She had
Oh,
was it
Sabrina
Ava Honey?
Claudio. That's the other one too. But nah, that's not the one.
Oh, you talking about? Oh,
I'm trying to think.
what's her song?
She popular. Not so that down.
Sade.
The fake Sade, yeah, the fake Sade. What's her name?
It's crazy.
You don't know who I'm talking about? Nobody know who I'm talking about? Not Janae Aiko, no. Janae Aiko is black.
That's how much you can tell we really don't be. Look.
Someone said it. Yeah. Wait, no. Is it Snow Allegra? That's it. Yeah, Snow Allegra. Oh my gosh, she's annoying. Dua Lipa. I don't know about her. Yeah,
I
I
don't
didn't
even
know
know none of her songs.
she white, but yeah, Snow Allegra. A lot of sisters like Snow be holding up Snow Allegra, and I'll be like, nah, y'all need to let her go. And a lot of sisters like Billie Eilish too. I noticed that. Love you too, baby. A lot of sisters like Billie Eilish. I noticed that a while ago. But you know.
A lot of sisters like Pete Davidson too. And I'm like, why? Why? I mean, Doja Cat,
Ariana Grande.
why? What is I'm like, what's up with that too? Like, even just that scenario of like celebrity status, and it's like she gets a bit of clout from doing that. And I'm like, it's just very strange to me. The appeal of what you do and how you represent it. Like, you really want to be on the assimilation side, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And it gets reactions, like that really does, you know? Like, it's just
Yeah. Well, we can critique the music industry all day because I'm telling you, it's a deep, dark rabbit hole. I've been down it. I've met some of these people. I know some of the. If I ain't meet the artist, I know a producer or a manager or someone. And I'm telling you, it's just a clown show. It's funny. It's funny. Like saying some of the stuff we say on our lives frequently. Like if you said this in a studio in a session, and you'd be surprised how anti-black a lot of these artists are. But because they're trying to fit a mold. That's the thing. They get paid to fit a mold, to cater to an audience. We don't make up most of the buying power in the music industry. User, you have a bunch of numbers. What's your age, race, and pronouns, please? Person on top, user something something. Okay, so this person is asleep. I'm gonna just block them. That's weird. Oh, y'all couldn't even hear him. That's good. I'm glad y'all couldn't hear him. This person was snoring on the live. But they were thin-lipped in their profile picture, so I blocked them. All right, y'all. I'm about to get out of here, man. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thank y'all for another productive live. Don't forget, when I do this is the ancient peace symbol from ancient Kemet. We don't have division. We keep it together. That's peace. This right here is power. That's the balance, peace and power. Much love to y'all.
Thank
And
you.
yeah,
Appreciate you for
thanks.
having me up. I was about to say too, Hunger Games think they slick. You see what that look like? Hold that up again. Hold it up again. Now put one more finger up. Put one more. No.
Oh,
Three.
oh,
Like the one.
oh,
Yep.
like that.
That's Hunger Games. Keep it
Word.
easy. For real. That's funny, ain't it? I think that you think they slick,
Dang.
The
Avatar.
Hunger
You think you
Games
slick,
thing.
Planet of Pandora, resource mining. You think you slick. Like,
Mm.
right in my face. Y'all love to fantasize about that, but in reality, we going through it. That's what I said. You ain't noticed that, did you? Like, I don't even watch
Nah,
it,
I
but
ain't
that's
noticed.
literally in the things. Like,
That's crazy. Well,
the black characters get unalived. I'll tell you. Even the little girl did. Even the first one years ago. I say, yeah. Rue. That was her
mm-hmm.
name. Never forget. Look,
Yeah, oppression corn
love
for
it.
white tea folks. They want to feel like us in the movies, but not in real life.
Holy Spirit activate. Well, we've reached the end of our journey, everyone. And like many of the people on the panel, we'll be probably either hopping in a tub or we just hopped out of one. But for the most of you that are sitting back and watching, if you are not black, if you are not black, hop in that tub before you hop in black business.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, D. Thank you, Timothy, for coming up. Black Swan, K, Tia, as always. Alicia, thank you for modding for us.
Please watch those cave nuts.
Thank you
I
for
think
having me, King.
I think Lovely Rose Petals was in here. Luya, appreciate you, brother. And follow me on Twitter. Tweet me. I'm about to get off this app right now. You're gonna see a notification bell pop up right here. Tap that notification bell to know when we go live. I'm gonna post the replays on YouTube. That link is in my bio. Thank you again, Alicia. And Sales, I think that's your name. Sales, appreciate you, sister. And Stella, appreciate the gifts if you're still here, sister. Knotless and somebody else was here, I forgot. But anyway, tweet me so that I can follow y'all back. I'm about to log off of here. I'm gonna go on Twitter. I'm gonna follow y'all. All right, y'all. One love. Be safe. Till
Appreciate it.
next time. I'll be
I
up
see y'all
tomorrow.
in 22 showers. I'll let you know
All
soon.
right, peace.